Cassian Andor. He's a rebel spy, super best friend. Give you a hug at the very end. Makes 10 men feel like 100. He's the rogue one for me. Kick you ass up, he's not in the show. Is he a fish or a thief? He's Cassian Andor. Cassian Andor. Cassian Andor.
With MakingStarWars.net.
Hey everyone, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and as always on these nights, I got James and Max with me. The only two people who can stay up,
Who are
who
fun
know how to
enough.
party, who are a little bit of rock and roll.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's start with Max, and just real quickly, did you like it, Max? Or was it boring and stupid?
He was born and stupid.
That's what I thought.
No, I fucking loved it. It was like totally different.
Mhm.
It was new. It was fresh.
Like a summer's eve.
Yeah,
Just like that.
both ends.
All right. Well, how about you, James?
Yeah, no, I'm very happy.
Is this what you've been wanting, James? Is this what you've been
Kinda.
asking for?
Yeah.
Is this what
I
you
mean,
need, girl?
I needed someone to competently execute a Star Wars show.
Mhm.
And if nothing else, I mean, I have my nitpicks and gripes, but I can definitely say that this was competently executed. I
Yeah.
have no complaints about the directing, the editing, any of the technical aspects of it. They nailed down 100%, and
Mhm.
I think it goes to show how much, how above the talent some of these people are. I mean, it's just like anything, you know, like with music and stuff. There's the people that are good, and then there's people that are like fucking amazing, and there's
Yeah.
like usually a small difference between the two. And I think the people that were working on this, they definitely took it to another level from what we've seen.
I think that's like a pretty good example of how the music analogy works for me,
Yeah.
in the sense that, like, basic Star Wars is the Ramones, and that's okay usually. You know what I mean? And I think that there's some people who want everything to be this like prog rock opera that's taken fucking Meatloaf and all of his friends 15 years to make or something. And it's like, it doesn't always have to be that way, but it is nice every now and then to have that too. And that's kind of where I fall on it. Like I wouldn't want all of my Star Wars like this, but fuck, I love this Star
Yeah.
Wars like this. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
I will say, I mean, to me, it's that fine balance. The only difference between, like, say, this show right now and Rogue One in terms of tonally is you're missing like a K2SO to kind of bring a little levity to it.
Mhm.
Which I hope that if the series goes on, that we'll see some of that come in there. Because yeah, it's not so much that, you know, I want gritty serious, because I think Star Wars, when it's too gritty, too serious, it becomes something totally different.
Yeah.
But so it's that fine balance. Like, and you know, Taika Waititi has his movie coming out, and one of my favorite movies in the last few years was Jojo Rabbit,
Mhm.
which is obviously it's about the freaking Holocaust and World War II in Germany.
Mhm.
But it's a comedy. So it balances those two sides very well. And that to me is kind of the trick of doing Star Wars, is kind of not taking it so serious that it becomes like a docudrama, but also not just being like, you know, like Disney XD, where Star Wars Rebels started out, where everybody's like, you know.
Yeah, I started to actually get a little bit worried about that. I almost felt like the two security guys that Cassian kills,
Mhm.
they reminded me of the two guys from Lothal. early on. Was it Grunt and Grint or something like that? They
Yeah.
really had that vibe, and I started to go, "Oh no!" But it was fine. It wasn't bad. But I was reminded of Rebels, and I was like, but then they ended up being kind of like a little bit more fun, and I was happy to see them get killed.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I like the
yeah,
seriousness of this. It was
it's
refreshing.
very
For me, it was
serious.
so refreshing. To be
Yeah,
so depressed and so dark. It was so refreshing.
I wanted to say that like Serial. What's his name? Carnival, the carnival of uptightness. I
Mhm.
was like, I would call him anal, but I don't think you get anything in that butt. It's so tight. You know what I mean? That guy was just what a little dick, you know? I
Right.
mean,
No, obviously
everybody
they
hates
did.
him. Yeah. No, they fucking his own people wanted to kick his ass. You could tell.
That's a hallmark of a good show when you have a
Like,
bad
yeah,
guy that you just want to
kill
fucking
him.
hate this guy.
You want to kill
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to kill his guts to death.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I definitely wanted to punch him in the throat.
What about
And
in the nuts?
I
In his
know.
space nuts.
Honestly, I kind of like I think they're like little tiny things, and it wouldn't really hurt. I think he'd just be like,
I
"What
don't like
now?
those.
What else you got?" And I'd be like,
Ugh.
"Oh shit, this guy's crazy."
Fucking stick your fingers up his butt, you know?
You can't. You could try, Max, but you can't. Nothing goes in. Nothing comes out. No, I mean, he was that was no the credit to the actor on that for that dude. I mean, everybody was fantastic, and but you know, since we're on the subject, like that guy, like he could have been very cartoony if just a couple of wrong calls and it would have been a cartoon. But they didn't do it. They I don't think they fucked it up. They
They
did a
said
good job.
shit too.
You know, I didn't even know. I heard that before. Like that was like a big thing. I didn't even notice because like
But
Yeah.
they've been shit. I think they've been saying shit on like in songs on the radio lately.
mhm. Yeah.
So
I mean, like I was saying on Santa's show this morning. I was like, they said it in fucking Temple of Doom. You know what I mean? It's like this ain't
Did they?
Lucasfilm's bridge yet. Yeah.
Shit.
Was it on the bridge?
It's on
Was
the
it on the
bridge.
bridge?
Serious?
That's before
Yeah.
he cuts the bridge. Yep.
Yeah.
I've never heard in a Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, the most nasty word we had was hell.
So shit.
I'll see you in
And they
hell.
said bastard.
I don't know.
I
Well,
think
Bantha Poodoo. I mean, what does poodoo translate to?
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, they use the word fodder in the actual
Fodder.
text, but
Yeah.
we know what it really means.
No, I saw it said shit.
What?
Yeah.
I thought I
Fucking-
did.
You're watching the Turkish version.
And good morning, Timmy. Unlike Tim, man, I gotta say, Tim was a little bitch, but he went out like a fucking champ because he just like banged the hottest chick in Star Wars of all time and then went and died. And I was just like, you know what?
They
dude?
had Star Wars.
You can be one with the Force now. You did it, man. There's nowhere to go. There's only down from there.
He died
Like,
doing what he
He
loved.
peaked. He peaked. You know what I mean? He did. He peaked. And but yeah, that was anyways though, like man, I don't want to get too much on like you know, I don't know, like shitting on something to elevate something else entirely, because when it's like not like the end goal, but the narrative structure of this and Boba Fett pull the same trick. And it does show night and day the a difference between the actual execution of those things, though. I can't deny the point. I mean, I can't like overlook it in this instance. It was like fuck, and then I keep giving Lucasfilm credit for doing like I said, like this show, and then like an Amblin riffing show, and Mando, which is like an action thing, like all of these things together. I'm like, this layout is this project layout across the board is, I think it's very well done. Like, I don't think it's one of the things that they don't give Kathleen Kennedy enough credit for, but fuck that structure and this structure, the same structure, essentially, kinda, pretty much, like this close together, but with so different executions. That's the one I'm like, fuck, man, poor
Yeah.
Boba,
Yeah,
can't get a break.
I just wonder if, obviously Filoni has a much better grasp of the Star Wars lore and the universe. I mean, no one's going to deny that than Tony
Oh,
Gilroy. But I think at some point that kind of stuff gets in the way. And I
Mhm.
almost wonder if you're better off a lot of times bringing in somebody that has the talent to just tell story and not
Yeah.
have to worry about all the nonsense and baggage that comes along with it, so they can actually just do their job and not have to worry about, oh, the fans want to see Dengar pop up
Yeah.
and all that nonsense, yeah.
Did you guys ever have the feeling though, like every now and then? I'm not saying like in a big way,
Mhm.
just little tinges of it. Like you weren't watching a Star Wars show, you were just kind of watching a procedural, not a procedural, but like
No,
something
like a
else. Like
Battlestar Galactica for like a little
yeah,
bit of that.
yeah. I
And it
had like
was like, and
mhm.
you know what it was? Because I was trying to think of what it was, but it's like their outfits, their costumes, or their uniforms.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's the same style as like the Imperial, but it was just like color based. That was different.
You know what? You know what it struck me as?
What?
What came to mind when I was watching it? I just felt that a couple of times, and I felt like this is sort of just like in a way like a different like a normal show, a good show, but like in Star Wars clothing, kind of. But then, but just for a few seconds here and there, I would feel that, and then but when I was watching it, I was like, you know what this feels like to me? It feels like Empire Strikes Back Bespin
Yep.
if Bespin was opulence, which it is.
Mhm.
And this is the same, this is like the flip side of that opulence. But like we're those same people.
Like Bespin's
Yeah.
Opulence Mirage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
There we
these people
go.
shop at Old Navy.
There's a drag queen in
Yeah.
Houston called
Yeah.
Opulence
Really?
Mirage.
That's a pretty good name.
Is it?
I think so. Unless you hate them. No, I mean I don't
No,
know.
I don't hate anybody.
Maybe they owe you money. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
I don't hate anybody.
No, but it did. I mean, like the security guard outfits really very much are the Bespin security guard outfits from Bespin. Like they are that up designed with some cool orange and like Reebok, Nike kind of things going on or
Okay, so
something.
that's what I meant. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I didn't Imperial, Bespin, whatever. Like, it was
Yeah,
Star Wars, but just like color wise, it was there was like a shift. There was a change.
Yeah.
there was like a moment where Empire Strikes Back defined the design, the clothing style of the show, I think. And then when Richard Marquand came in, he was like, I hate that. That's just too real. And he up designed the fuck out of everything after that, which I actually love that too. Like I'm actually fine with these things sitting side by side. I think it's great.
Mm.
But this definitely, just like Rogue One though, Rogue One also every cut of every coat was based off of something from Empire almost. Like and as this show kind of does, but I like I said, I feel like I just keep thinking of Bespin, not Bespin Bulletin the man, but Bespin the Cloud City place.
Well, they've always, everything I think has leaned so heavily from day one on John Malo's original costume design. They
Yeah.
really hung their hat on that, and this is no different.
I totally got tickled with the whole Cher look. The whole
Yeah.
70s Cher Afro look.
You texted me that, and I was like,
I'm gonna
you're right. You're right.
No, watch.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have that hair. I'm not lying.
Yeah, you're doing it.
Yeah, I was trying to think of an afro,
Mhm.
and when I
Throw it
saw
down.
this, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Just watch.
All right,
And
next week.
I love the whole intro to that club and stuff.
My son, he was like, Dad, can I stay up tonight and watch it? And I was like, listen, if you go to school tomorrow, do your homework, you go to school tomorrow, and you don't cry, you don't get so tired. It's an early day tomorrow. So that's why I was like more like, yeah. And I was like, you know, and then he's like, okay. And so as we're like approaching midnight, I'm like, he should be in bed. He's like, he like starts getting like all his stuff on the couch ready, and I'm just like, this dude's gonna fall asleep in 2 seconds. And he stays awake just enough to go, why are these ladies in the windows? What is that? And I was like, son, it's the weird place that sad people go to pay a girl to kiss them. That was my explanation. And he was like, huh.
Accurate.
And then he fell asleep. And I was like, you couldn't have fallen asleep 5 seconds before that, could you, little punk?
So I have a
But-
show booked for October,
Mhm.
and when I was watching this, I was like, ah,
Oh yeah,
very
yeah,
nice.
yeah. The space bar brothel like kind of place. That place was like the designs of those ladies was pretty cool. It was actually
Yeah.
like we saw them like early on, and it was like with like no context or anything. But yeah, it actually looked cooler here than in the magazine, which
I have
usually
to
is the
say,
opposite.
well, unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch your show very much, or even Meg's, because I've been so busy. So
Even wait, even Meg. That means like Meg is like before me. Is that what you're trying to say
her
right now?
shows are shorter.
Because Meg got to go see it already before me too. So
Yeah,
I
no, but
kind of
like
hate her now.
no,
No, I'm kidding.
no, listen to me. No, I'm just saying that I've been working on my stuff, and I haven't been
Yeah.
able to like sit down and watch the proper spoilers and stuff like that. So I kind of watched it like new.
What am I doing wrong?
You
Max?
blocked me, bitch.
Oh, it's true. I did. I pocket blocked Max and didn't know for like a long time, and then I changed. I did like updated my security, by the way, and stuff. I just do that all the time, and my Mac wasn't sending you text messages I was sending you today. So I was texting you today from my Mac, and they just weren't going through. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave that alone. I'm just gonna fix it and leave it alone. And then, but yeah, but I think me and Max are now in communicate. Max is here. That's the
Yeah.
point. We did
That's
it.
all that matters.
We did it. We did it. But
Nice.
anyways, yeah, I mean it's sort of weird because it's not like this show. I mean, I'm gonna watch it again in the morning, like when I wake up, obviously, and then do like an actual like proper review, like where I may note, things I want to like hit and everything. This is like our impressions episode because it's fucking 2:07 in the morning. But it's like it's such a
4:07
weird.
try.
It's like because it's like we got like a lot. Yeah, you guys are up even later, and it's but it's like there was like a lot there, but like not a lot because so much was like in the subtlety. Like
Yeah.
it's like a very like super subtle show, and yeah, I'm really curious. I'm curious how like the fans are going to like take it. Like I don't know what to expect. I actually don't feel like I could predict what the narrative is going to be on this in like 3 months or something like that. I have no idea.
To me, it like takes you away. I don't know if it's like underground, or it takes you like more away from a different side of the Star Wars universe that you're not used to seeing.
Yeah.
And I liked that, but I'm not sure how,
Mhm.
some of these other fans are like, oh,
Yeah.
How are they, Max?
uh,
Yeah, well, because I mean, like, no, I mean, like when you really get, I mean, down to it, like in terms of, it's weird. There wasn't a lot of plot. I mean, that's not a bad. It's like not a dig. It's just like there was I owe people money. I'm wanted. I'm kind of like on the run. I
It's a
want to
lot of-
sell this thing, and like you set that up, and then it's like 3 episodes on not very much, but it's not bad. It's actually
you know what
good.
it did for me?
It's existing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was more environmental. Like it took
Mhm.
me out of what I normally am used to seeing, and took me to something a little bit more like an everyday Star Wars universe type of thing, which I liked. It was
Yeah.
so different.
a
That's
lot
what
of
I
setup.
appreciated. Huh?
A lot of setup.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it didn't
Mhm.
necessarily go very far in the first 3 episodes, but I guess everybody that saw the first 4, they said that it's really by the episode 4,
It picks up.
it picks up. So I think by next week we'll definitely have a lot more involved. And yeah, because if they had just released that first episode and we're reviewing episode 1 right now,
Maybe
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
they did it
it's
like
not a
that.
lot
Well,
there to
that's-
really sink your teeth into.
Yeah. No. That's exactly why they put out like the first 3, and it's why they gave a lot of the journalists 4 episodes, because they like this one, like when you get down to it, like it kind of like that could have been it. Like in a weird way, I almost would have been okay with them just releasing these in 3s. these at the end, like if we had got this 4 or 5 months ago, and then 2 or 3 months later got the other 4, I would actually be fine with that, like kind of release schedule, in the sense that I feel like that was a little movie, and it was like where Cassian came from, and then how he left home, and that's all that it was, but it was super well done, and I have like what the fuck is the Lord of the Flies shit going on out there? Like are they like what's like? I'm like, these are Cassian's people, but what do Cassian's people not get older? Because he's like 17, but it looks 40. What's going on?
Those are the Lost Boys.
Yeah, no, but
The Lost
I think I saw Rufio back there somewhere.
yeah, I did.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Oh.
Someone was doing a bangarang. I don't know.
yeah.
I did feel sad too. I did, because I'm a big old baby.
So it looks like the ghost is on Ferrix, by the way.
Oh,
At least the ship like it. But yeah, so like I was kind of like what's up with all of these kids, and there's like no like parents, but I started to assume that what was weird was like Cassian's little sister is there, and then like they're clearly like going out to like investigate, sort of like not exactly like, it wasn't like a walkabout kind of thing, but it was like a rite of passage that he went to put the paint on. The older boy's like no, and then the older woman, the older kid is like a girl, the teenage girl, she's like, let him, basically, and then he puts it on. So now that he's taken that, he's allowed to go with them. The little sister's not allowed to. And then they go out, but I'm like, are the parents in like a village down the road, and the kids are just like doing their own thing, or is it supposed to be is this like anthropological? Were they in a crash and all the parents are dead and only those kids survived, and it's like Lord of the Flies?
I just
or
that's what I got.
I just think that I thought that the parents or the adults weren't alive or around.
Well,
yeah.
it's because Luthen mentions his father, and I'm assuming that is the gentleman that rescues him.
I think it's the dark
his adopted father.
the dark skin guy who's with Maerva.
Mhm.
And we don't see what happens to him,
Right?
but we hear he was hung in the town square, which seems to imply, well, we don't need to know what happens to him because we know he was hung in town square, so, or whatever it was, whatever they said. So it's like, so I think that's that. I mean, I think that's who they're talking about. And so I think like, and then Cassian has like a little sister who he thinks is out fucking walking the streets or something. He's decided
she's a night girl.
Yeah, woman of the night. And
job's a canary, so you gotta do what you gotta do.
You know why? Sorry, Canary. We didn't get to record it yet. But I did make this because damn, Biggs is hot. Whatever. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. But yeah, Old Boy says the tone is so serious and definitely not like last Disney Star Wars or really any Star Wars. But I think that this is the tonal shift the franchise needs. Yeah, like when it opens up and he's walking, and we should talk about the credits, like how they used the titles in it, and also like when it starts, like like Coruscant was clearly inspired to some degree by Blade Runner. Lucas had the idea, Blade Runner comes in, fucking executes it flawlessly, and then Coruscant does change a bit after Blade Runner.
There was a part of this that reminded me of Blade Runner.
No, that's exactly where I was going with it. It's like, yeah, like when Cassian's walking in the beginning, and it did feel like it reminded me of when I'm down in Long Beach at night, like walking like near the docks and stuff, like near like the harbor. It's a lot like that here. Oh, my light went out. You know what I mean? Time for techno rave. Whoa. But yeah, you would think like the basic on setting wouldn't be like the final one, but I let a 7-year-old do the lights for the show, so it's what you get. But anyways, Yeah, but I mean, like all of that like felt really real, and it was as like Cassian was like walking through there, and then when we got to like the town stuff later on, I was like clearly thinking about like Solo, a Star Wars story, sort of attempted to paint this reality. It tried. It didn't try hard though.
Like
But
Blade
like,
Runner.
well, when Solo
Corellia.
is a kid on Corellia, and like you see like those like AT-AT Walker kind of like crane things in the background and stuff.
Hmm.
We
But
have this in Houston.
as I started to watch it though, yeah, I was thinking like this is probably more of the background that Han Solo probably is like sort of depicted as coming from, like his dad's work, you know what I mean? And
They did a better job of Han Solo's backstory in Andor than Han Solo did in his own movie.
yes, and that's that to the show's credit, like to
Yeah.
the world building of the show is it has already in a weird way made that better for me.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I mean?
as much as I criticize like the effects in Kenobi, it wasn't so much because you can definitely tell that these are TV level special effects. Still, it doesn't look like movie special effects. This doesn't look like Rogue One special effects.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Bastard, I hate you. Good.
But what they did with the show was actually did interesting things. So even it's like it's not movie level as special effects. The shots were interesting. It wasn't just because my problem with Kenobi is that they're bad special effects doing boring things. So it's like if you're gonna do bad special effects, at least do something that's fun to look at. To me, Kenobi, there's no there. It's like, oh, it's with the exception like maybe Alderaan and a couple of things here and there, but most of it was like, well, there's a cave. That's CGI'd. There's a starship there. It's that's with the whole shipyard and showing the town and everything. It was all there's a lot of visual eye candy there.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's still TV level effects, it's something that's pretty to look at.
I will say, I was hoping somebody was going to snipe the Taco Bell guy. Like, who the fuck does he think he is? He's all like, he's like all like getting ready for. He's all like just fucking hit the thing, dude.
It's like
What are you
combination.
doing?
Who's the guy that plays Hellboy? It's like what's the actor's
Perlman.
name? Yeah, Ron Perlman.
Perlman?
If Ron Perlman and Tom Waits had a love child, it would be that dude.
Yeah. Okay, I can't lie. I'm a little. I kind of do want that job in Star Wars, though. Of all the jobs to have in Star Wars, that one's a pretty cool one. Like, just kind of wake up every day, hit flex in front of the bell and hit it. I guess.
Yeah.
Fucking
the Star Wars rooster.
look down at Biggs like a weirdo. I mean, that's what I imagine you do. Jonathan
telescope.
It was funny. I watched it with subtitles on because the kids fell asleep, obviously, and I was like, so I didn't want to put it up too loud. And there's this moment though, and I don't think I would have noticed if it wasn't for the subtitles, but it's like they're saying Bix, and then like the street that they're on that they're calling in is like not 6, but it's like something IX. I was like, it's Bix. It's like it like rhymed. I was like, are they joking right now? Because it feels like they're joking, like in terms of the text, But I'll remember tomorrow. I'm too tired to remember what the street was now, or what like the sector was called. But it was like
bricks.
It was like bricks or
yeah.
Glakes or something. But it was like Glakes and Bix. I was like, kind of close there. There was also a guy whose name was pretty much Obi-Wan, but it wasn't, which I kind of liked though. It was kind of fun. But Mark
Did you
says,
like? Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, Mark could fucking wait.
Like,
who's Mark think he is?
No, Mark is on. No, let him read it.
I mean, look at his last name. It's so fancy. It's like blah.
Bolak.
But what did you have? Say it, Max? Tell us now.
How did you like B2Emo or whatever his name is? How did you like him?
I like that it was different. I like that it wasn't like necessarily like, oh, look, it's the droid who's going to kill you kind of like thing that they love to do lately, the last couple of years. Like, as I was watching it, though, I was like, I don't know if he needed to be the vacuum droid. I almost felt like he should have been like a bipedal like protocol droid of some kind, like with just like his like but once again I don't know, I that came to mind as I was watching it. I was like, this is
Yeah.
really strange, and it's weird hearing of the voice come out of like the R2 unit that looks older than R2D2. It's like, why did they start beeping? Like, I guess we could just go with it, but I'm fine, and it felt like Johnny Five at times or something, which I kind of like though.
It reminded me of Jinx from Space Camp.
Yeah,
That kind of vibe.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I did like it. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like J.J. Abrams' voice, though.
The Dio.
For Dio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, funny story. I was invited to the premiere event in the UK for Andor.
Did you
Not
go?
in, obviously. No, I couldn't. So I gave it to the boys at Bespin Bulletin. I was like, hey, you guys could go for me, and then you guys could we'll talk about it. I'm like, cool. That way we're not like you still get to go and get to talk about the event. There we go. We all win.
Mhm.
And so Bespin Bulletin himself could make it, but his two co-hosts on his show were able to make it out. And I wrote them an email, like they had to change some stuff. So I wrote him an email and I said, hey, I want you to make up something really ridiculous and tell it to Bespin, so that way he thinks it's real, so we could just laugh at him for a few minutes. And then a few minutes later, I'm playing or like an hour or two later, I'm playing Fortnite with him, with Bespin Bulletin, and he's like, hey, B2 Emo talks like he has like a normal guy voice. And I'm like, I know, right? That's weird, right? And I thought it was
spit all
a joke.
over me. Yeah,
I
that's
know you
gross.
like that. I thought it was like though. I thought that was the joke he was playing on him. And then I'm like watching him. He's all like, "Hey, what's up, Andor? I can't lie for you." And I was like, "Oh shit, it wasn't joking. It was really happening."
Yeah.
No.
What's the droid
No.
from Black Hole? The little
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if the space camp droid fucking just went hard doggy style on the black hole.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then this guy came out and was like, "Oh, Andor, how's it going?"
I liked him a little bit.
I liked how he looked really pristine and new when we did the flashback.
Mhm.
But like fucking a couple years with Cassian, fucking been rough on that little guy.
Seriously, man. Yeah.
They called him like ancient or something. Like the journalists who were covering it were led to believe it was much older than it was. And they're like, it's like an ancient droid that's been with the Andor family for generations. It was that's how it read. I don't remember. Maybe I took that from it, and that's not what they meant. But that's what I took it from. But I saw it and I was like, oh shit, this little fucker looks brand new right now. Like when we see him in the flashbacks, it's like all like bright red, and yeah, which was I like that that like little detail though, because they could have just been like, oh, he's always been a shit burger, and
They just broke their own canon. They just
So
broke
what
canon again.
What toy did they have of him? What toy do they have of him?
There's no Black Series of say coming out.
He's like the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figure, I think.
Oh, a Missy like exclusive.
I think so. Anyway, yeah. You know what he actually reminded me? Oh, a couple of things. Two things. He also reminded me of those like little orange droids that were like out by the N1 Naboo starfighters in Phantom Menace. It kind of like reminded me like that's where I think like the lineage is. And then the thing that nobody's mentioned that I think is like kind of rad is those death dogs are the things from the front of Jabba's palace. Those are like the little dogs that are, Jabba's days.
Oh,
that he sits on.
So those death
heads
are like they're kind of like the same from Jabba's palace.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So no, because the heads on his So the heads on his throne are actually one of the creatures from the cantina from A New Hope. It's the Abyssin, the one-eyed dude from the cantina. Those are the dogs from Solo, right?
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Solo had the Mastiffs, didn't it? The Mastiffs from Attack of the Clones?
No. That was Boba Fett.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So I think they're from there originally.
Hmm.
But someone in the chat will tell us we're wrong.
Are
Actually,
there?
Rob's not here to be wrong tonight.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do it instead.
How do you spell the days? Like
DAIS.
IS, no E, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to see like if they were different because I remember
Meg's calling you Rob.
because I'm wrong.
No, Meg's calling James Rob.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just like Rob's with better looks and better sense of style.
That's
Other than
fair.
that, we're pretty much two peas in a pod.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't doubt you, James, but yeah, I think you are completely correct.
It's sad that I know these things, so
Yeah, you're fucking pathetic.
this is
no,
why I make the big bucks at work. It's all this arcane Star Wars knowledge.
yeah.
Sad.
Hold on, open image in a new tab. Because I felt like I fucking saw that before, and I was like curious: are they like different on Jabba's thing? Like, are there different ones or something, or is the one that I'm
Yeah.
those heads look familiar to me.
They look more
I know
Solo-ish.
Yeah, Solo.
Did they have a muzzle though in Solo?
I don't know.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah, because they're like riding like shotgun in the car then too. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, they are all the same.
Meg
says Corellian dogs.
Corellian dog.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now if you
They're not those,
Google,
okay.
Oh, no.
If you Google Abison, you'll see the dude from the cantina, and it's just basically I don't know if they took a mold off that mask or they just said, "Hey, that was cool, use that." Or,
Yeah.
stories behind that, but I know they are.
Yeah. Mark says, so we'll finally get to Mark. We really put Mark in his place this time.
Sorry,
I'm just going
Mark.
to say.
Oh.
All the 6-year-olds are pissed that there wasn't Vader laugh out loud. Star Wars fans really don't know what they want. Yeah, well, that just speaks to the fact that it's a really huge fan base. Like I was talking about earlier on the show today, George Lucas couldn't do anything right. Like, and then the thing about it is we have a media that once somebody, like, it doesn't matter if they're valid, like QAnon is not valid and they were very small, but the media used those fuckheads to pull out what they were saying. They go, well, there's a contrary opinion. It's crazy. Can we laugh at it? But no, you're legitimizing it. We're really good at that. We haven't learned that lesson yet. So, but what ends up happening is that it like when we have something stupid, or some like dissenting opinion, then we go and go, well, oh, now everybody's saying this because I saw one person say it, so it means everybody's saying this thing. But the truth is the fan base is so huge. You could put out a masterpiece, and there's going to be a demographic that fucking hates it because it doesn't have Dengar or Darth Vader. And then on the other side of it, they're going to do something with Dengar and Darth Vader, and then people are going to be like, this is fucking stupid. Like I want and like, so it's just like roll with it, man. All kinds of cool stuff's coming out. That's like it's all over the place, and that's good. I mean, it's ultimately good.
I mean, that is unfortunately the downside of any kind of serialized stuff. So I remember talking to Ari Salvatore that did the novelization for Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
And he was talking about it. I mean, God, this is how long ago, how it was like, he had his Demon Wars novels that he does. And he's like, he was talking about like, I could go to my publisher and say, I have this great idea for this story that I want to do. And their first response to that would be, well, when's your next Demon Wars novel? Because they don't care about your new shit. The old shit sells, and we know people like the old shit. So don't give us your new shit. Give us your old shit that is kind of the sure bet. Because they're not about taking just Hollywood in general is not risk adverse. So this is about as risky as Lucasfilm and Disney are probably going to be on a Star Wars thing, which is nice. So even if the show wasn't my cup of tea, I would at least applaud them for saying, well, you went there. Maybe if you fucked up, but they didn't. I don't think. I mean, I think they kind of hit the mark. I think they hit a pretty good sweet spot.
I love
they, like I was saying earlier, like about Blade Runner, but I mean, to be more genre specific, it is more cyberpunk. I mean, even down to sort of like him removing the ships tracker IDs and stuff like that to like change everything. Like it's just like it's like an awareness of tech and being able to be tracked and things like that that you don't really have in Star Wars usually. Or not like or it'll be like a passing line, but never something that somebody has to actually deal with. Like the little like the guy in the shipyard.
Yeah, in fairness, you get a lot of Star Wars in movies, and in movies you don't have time for that bullshit.
Exactly.
So you got to keep the plot moving. So you can't, it's not Star Trek. Well, the dilithium crystals are cracked, so we have to go to Algon 5.
Are you fucking serious, dude?
Yeah, I know.
No. Do we have to?
Oh, I think we do.
I'm kidding. Sorry.
Max is driving.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't going to keep doing it, but I'm going to do it one last time. To Boba Fett's credit, if all three of us were like 6-year-olds, like out on the playground, we're like, Max, you're Fennec Shand, and I like and I'm like I'm Boba Fett and you're Mando, and like Boba Fett and Mando fucking doing like Predator fucking handshakes and shit, and like out there like that shit like to like a child is really cool. And I do think if we were 6 years old, we'd be like, Boba Fett is the fucking best show that I've ever seen. And this is like I like Cassian, but I don't know what is this. Like I'll put this on while I play with my toys, but I'm not going to really watch it. Like I think that's where it would fall if we were children, which we still are.
I think Star Wars comes from the original when it came out in 77. That's back in the day when you had like the variety show, right? And the variety show had to appeal to, because you only had like 3 channels. So you couldn't put on a show that like was, skewed heavily for children or for men want to watch this, whatever. You had to have a broad appeal that there would be something for everybody in there. And nowadays things are way more segmented into, this is for kids, this is for adults. And I think Star Wars at its best, what it does is more that variety show style, where I think the prequels are a good example, because the prequels obviously go into some heavy shit, right? And it's a pretty serious thing of what Lucas is trying to say, of like, here's how democracies turn into dictatorships, and children are not going to wrap their heads around that. No one's playing on the playground going, I'm going to be Senator Organa from Alderaan, and I'm going to oppose your trade routes. So that shit's still in there.
No. Yeah.
But you have like the cool visuals that the kids will be like, fucking Rex looks cool. I like the clones. The clones are cool. I like Bogan because he's a cool fucking lizard, and I want to ride a fucking Bogan. And so you have that shit mixed in with that.
Boga, have some respect. Rest in peace, Boga.
Damn, I fucked up. See, now I'm really Rob.
Hey, we're all Uda pals here, okay?
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, that's for you. That was for you. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It's like there's something in there for kids too, even if it's a heavy story and a heavy subject matter, the visuals and a lot of the stuff. But Boba Fett to me is like the opposite end of that, where the story is stupid, it's kind of lame, it's there's not a lot of there. But yeah, kids would love it because Mando.
But the Mando and the Boba Fett are buddies, and they fucking team up and they fucking kick ass.
Yeah.
So, no, but I'm trying to celebrate the totality of what they've done in the last year. Like it is kind of rad. Like
James is like, I don't care.
Well, no. I mean,
I get it.
It's so much variety. They did bad shows, really bad shows, and
really bad. No,
they mix it up.
But it's just no. I mean. I mean, like you can take any of the Star Wars stories, and you could literally, this show could have been done by Dave Filoni. They could have taken the script, and Filoni and Favreau could have done it and made it just like, hey, I'm Bix, how's it going? You know what I mean? And like they could have went that route and told the same story. Yeah. I mean,
more corny.
Yeah, and it's like there's just. But I kind of like it all. I'm not saying I don't have my preferences or anything like that, but let's look at what Lego fan says here. And I mean, The music is fucking completely a different take on music. It's a little bit more, it's not jazz, but it's almost jazz at times. And that fucking drum solo was fucking sweet as fuck. And
That
they didn't
was
even like, I like that drums. I like the, did you like it?
Which
you
one?
I
know,
thought it,
the hour of the moment, because all of a
yeah.
sudden, like, because usually the music's in the background, and a lot of times the music's it's kind of like special effects. It's doing its job best when it's not like front and center because it's driving the story, it's driving the emotion of that scene. But all of a sudden, yeah, some fucking Tommy Lee comes out rocking a drum solo in the
And it
middle
was
of
like real
the band,
drums.
like,
It was,
right, it's not synth or
yeah,
anything. It's some dude behind a kit bashing away, and I'm like, I wonder who the drummer was. And you sort of
yeah,
find out.
I mean,
yeah, yeah. I am, for the show, I don't in any way think like, oh, this should replace the music in serialized Star Wars storytelling at all. But in this, I think it actually works really, really, really fucking well. I'm curious to see. Let me know, Lego fan, if you hold this opinion or if as the series goes on, it grows on you or not. Um, the first episode should have been one. The third episode overall was pretty good. And so see, like, I I don't know. I kind of just see that the whole thing was one experience. They released it as one. It would be like,
I got
I don't.
actually, I forgot that we were in like the first episode.
Hmm.
Quite honestly, until like it ended near like episode 2, and I was like, oh, there's
Yeah.
more. So
I mean, I mean, obviously they didn't necessarily know what the release pattern was going to be. I mean, if I was just gonna armchair it, why not just do an edit where it's one episode? But I think it's about content numbers, about appearing to have more there, and also most people want to sit down for a set time, and just like new people who come in a year from now, they'll take their 40-minute sit to watch the thing. But I would rather there just be like 4 movies, 4 short films, or whatever you want to call it. Like at the end of the day, I don't really need the I didn't necessarily need this stuff cut up into episodes. So what I'm trying to say is it's arbitrary. We all got it in the same night.
There's
You know,
probably it'd be
3
interesting to
episodes.
have like an insider talk with somebody, and because I'm sure that debate goes on in terms of, because even runtimes in movies,
Mhm.
is the 3 hour runtime, do you lose your audience? Is it too slow paced?
Yeah.
And I'm sure they wonder, are people, so freaking ADD that they can't sit through an hour long episode of Andor?
Lord of the Rings tested my patience when I watched the first 2.
Oh yeah,
I haven't watched the third one because the first 2 was I don't dislike it, but it didn't make me not watch the third one yet, because I just feel like this investment that isn't even there
yeah,
now on the one episode. It's weird. I'm not thinking, but the passive psychology
yeah.
of why I haven't watched it is strange.
You know what's funny with the way I would have done Lord of the Rings, because it's not necessarily bad. The third episode was definitely my favorite so far, and the fourth kind of
Okay.
went back down again.
Yeah.
But I would have preferred they not jump around so much, because I don't feel like you get your hooks into any single storyline ever. Like, I'm not invested after like 2 hours of that show, and I really don't give a shit about a character. And there's 20 of them to give a shit about. And it's like, maybe just have it like a Clone Wars anthology type style, where episode 1 is all about this character. Episode 2, we go completely different. But then, I mean, I don't know if people would be like, well, where's so and so now? Last episode, we were like with the elves. And, I don't know. But then again, I wonder if like Hollywood just overthinks the simplicity of people. Like, well, they're too stupid to catch on, so we have to dumb it down for everybody, or we have
Yeah.
to like flash shiny shit in front of their faces every 5 seconds because we'll lose them. I think a lot of times that's kind of stuff gets overthought probably at the end, and they just end up fucking up.
Yeah, but that I it kind of kept me, like, the fact that by the time I got bored in Lord of the Rings with a group of people, we moved on to the next one. That kind of kept me going with it for
Yeah.
whatever. But in Andor, the buddy who, I think it's his buddy, who like is gonna cover for him.
Mhm.
The one who like says like I kicked your ass, like when he's like trying to get him to lie. I can't remember what his name was. It was like Bragago or some bullshit. I can't
Probably
remember what
ends
his
in
name.
an X. You know.
Yeah, like it's like Brag Bricks or something like that. But I didn't quite get a good feel on my first watch of who the fuck is this guy? Is this just like a local homie that's disappointed in him, or is this like a family member? Is that guy an Andor?
I thought he
Or
was a fan. I thought he was a friend.
it's just like a freaking, because he tells him to take care of Minerva like when he goes to leave.
Minerva. Yeah.
Or Minerva, whatever the fuck her
Well,
name is.
You didn't hit the spoiler about him yet.
Huh?
What is that?
So that's actually it's in the later episode. You find out it's Andor's brother. That's
Mhm.
either or.
Either or.
Oh.
Oh man, that was
Yes.
Uda Pals level. But that's our new podcast, the Uda
That's
Pals.
what happens when it's 4:40 in the morning. You know,
Yeah.
it's as good as it's gonna get.
I gotta say, it's better than just taking some random thing from Star Wars and then adding radio to it. We're Frog Dog Radio. Sorry if that exists, but if you named your podcast that,
Yeah.
try harder.
Or you just take a word and put cast in it. You know, we're the Force Cast.
Well, that's actually a thing, but yeah.
Is it? See, it's so easy.
Yeah,
to do.
that's
You just
yeah.
stumble into it accidentally. Anyway,
Well, yeah, the Ugnaught cast.
Rebel Cast.
Timmy says, Timmy enjoyed it. See, Timmy's just like, I really enjoyed it. Like, offensive, some of the clothing, especially in that bedroom scene, wasn't remotely Star Wars.
I told you someone was going to say that.
Fucking, we're talking about when fucking Bix was in her underwear. We're talking about that moment.
Yeah, they don't wear underwear in Star Wars. The George said
Bix
so.
does.
Mm.
Bix does.
She's a prude, man. She's like a Puritan in Star Wars. Then, yeah, fucking
When you put it that way, that's true. Oh, I think it's more like on Alderaan, they go commando. They don't have any weapons, but they go commando.
It's like the '60s every day and all around.
Mm-hmm.
Peace,
It's the ultimate irony.
Yeah.
Tomas Shane says people are complaining nothing happened, but that's because they need everything spoon fed to them. Yeah, I mean that's the thing is a lot happened.
Right.
The characters go through a ton of complex emotions, but it's all hinged around only a few beats. That's where, like, when we were talking about like why were there not as many spoilers from this show? Not a lot of sound bites to drop out and then to like dig on. Like as I'm looking at this now, I'm like, now I see why most of the legit spoilers were like casting and shit like that. And the more I watch this show, I think it's very clear which rumors were not true. Like that were out, like the stuff with like clones and Mon Mothma and shit. It's like they're not doing that.
And some of the other YouTube channels are going to be very upset because they won't be able to do an hour-long show. Was that Moochie from Jabba's Palace?
It was.
Oh, I saw Moochie.
It was Moochie.
Oh my god, it totally was. Yeah.
Moochie cast.
Maybe
Welcome to
I was
Moochie cast.
maybe I was like really distracted, but I was looking at the world building.
Well, you've always said that since the first episode of Moochie Radio. That's what you've always said.
Just Moochie. Just
Fake fan. Fake fan. Poor Tim. Thomas says, I tried listening to Den of Nerds and Star Wars Theory, but they were just complaining. Oh, it's
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, we could fucking I don't bother. That's what I say. I mean,
Yeah.
hey Meg,
Hi,
how's
Meg.
it going? I mean, unless you like, their takes, but I don't know. I don't give a shit.
Everyone's
Hell.
a critic.
Hi Meg.
So,
Meg's already saw it like twice now. She's like, oh yeah, like the ultimate Andorian, you Andorks. I'm like,
Lucky.
better than
Oh, that would be a good podcast name, the Andorks.
the Andorks, yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
That's what he kept calling me. I was like, why are you calling me a dark?
Yeah, and dorks. I love how British the show is in it. Yeah, I know. When Luthen gets on that fucking thing and that little guy won't stop talking to him, I was like, Luthen, you gonna fuck this guy up? You should just kick the shit out of this guy. You should just go beg beef from fucking train spotting on him.
So this is how much I've been practicing Turkish.
Yeah.
I kept saying Luthen. Luthen, not Luthen.
As in
No,
Luton?
different.
You be Luton?
Yeah, because in Turkish you pronounce every letter.
I was like, me and Rob, and maybe you guys agree, we hate when they just take an alien, don't subtitle it, and then we can go, oh no, and oh gosh, gee, and it's just like
That's
like the
what they did
Dexter.
today.
It's like
Everybody's a
show.
1940s prospector. Or 1840s.
But because I'm a stupid, and so whenever I hear an accent with it, now I feel like I'm watching Labyrinth or something, and it's exotic and it's okay. When the big guy had an accent, I was like, oh, okay, that's better.
Meh.
It was just better. It was just better to me. You know what I mean? So
if the alien has an accent, you're fine with it.
well, like for instance, so like when we listen to Star Wars make, we hear an elegant voice, sophistication, even killed. I am in awe. She's a great narrator. But if you were British and you listen to Meg, she's like, so here's what's up. Star Wars. But because we're not British, she sounds just like fucking a fancy princess.
Gotcha.
So she's like Rob.
Yeah. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I have to get back from calling me old today. I heard that on my way home. This bitch.
I was telling the Bespin guys, Meg is there. Go say hi to her. And they're like, well, what does she look like? And like nobody's ever said it. I'm like, well, have you seen Roger Rabbit? She's a cartoon. So just if you see the fucking cartoon walking around, it's Meg.
I like Meg's new animation where like her boobs are going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, oh yeah. And she has like Meg's cartoon has like kind of like sunburn side
on
boobs.
the sides.
A little bit of sunburn
Meg.
side
I
boobs.
saw
I'm like,
that.
Meg's been on
Like,
vacation.
She
That's
did
what I
that on
think.
purpose.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna do that right when I'm on here with that.
You missed an important thing about the guy on the train.
Mm-hmm.
That fedoras are now canon in Star Wars.
Yeah, he did that little tiny hat.
Tiny fedora.
That was bastard and shit.
Yeah. Pimp Stick says, I feel like Jason's beard has grown significantly since his last show 8 hours ago.
I like your beard, by the way.
Thank you. I'm celebrating Andor. This is how you do it. I had a source who was in the production of the show, and I asked a specific question one time. I was like, so in this certain episode, does he have the beard or does he not have the beard? And they were like, honestly, I fucking don't remember. And I'm just like, okay. And they're like, that guy will come in. They will shave him. And at the end of the day, he has a fucking mustache again. So I was like, okay.
Jason, you look very Mexican, by the way.
I've been growing this since I was 6 years old.
Yeah. I've been able to have a beard since I was 5 years old. Oh shit. He's gone lower for that one. So,
oh my god.
well, I mean, and I guess maybe that kind of answers my question. He says he's been in this fight since he was 6 years old. When we see him, he's clearly like 13, probably.
Yeah.
So his tribe has probably been wiped out, or his elders or whatever.
I think they said something along the lines that
did they? Okay,
it was wiped out.
Oh,
I believe the guys on the ship that crashed that they went and investigated, they had the Confederacy symbol on there.
And they were orange.
Oh, I love that visual where they have like the mask on, but it's almost like an astronaut on Mars with the gun out, and like the natives come for him and he's like blasting away. Just the visual of that was fucking cool. Like that was like, I was like, fuck yeah. I like where their head was at on that one. You know, it was fucking cool as shit. It was not really an important moment, but I loved it. I dug that a lot. Like it just was like the kind of shit like you kind of want to see in Star Wars, but you're like, where do you put that? Like, where does it go? And then there it is. You know, something like that, I should say. But Mark says, I'm genuinely pissed at the fandom. On one hand, they wanted better storytelling. Then they get this and they're pissed they are somehow more hyped for Tales of the Jedi. Yeah, but you know what? Like it's like Qui-Gon says, your focus determines your reality. And so if you look for the dummy to say the thing and then focus on it, then it seems like the dummy saying the thing is a thing. And the reality is like Twitter's like, what do they say? 3% of the population is on Twitter. Yet,
All right.
I mean, but
It
I
seems
will
like it's
say,
We'll
like
find out after the
billions,
lawsuit.
right?
yeah, but in reality, like also at the same time though, the actual like literate population is smaller than the general population in terms of like true literacy. And that's where Twitter, I was actually really critical of Twitter when it first came out, like 140 characters. Like it was actually kind of made us better. We had to be more succinct. That said, yeah, like I said, Qui-Gon, focus determines your reality. Just just don't
Yeah.
go there. Like if that guy on that one YouTube show is always saying a dumb thing, always race baiting, always coming up with the worst conclusion, the worst enough, just fucking shut him out, and then you're fine. You feel better. And then like that's what I do until you fuckers don't let me. No, I'm kidding. But no, I mean, but it's just the truth. But I know where you're coming from, the Mark, and I don't mean to pick on you, Mark, about that. But it's like yeah, you will find the people that are saying that. There will always be the people that the grass is always greener and all that kind of stuff. Once again, we need to look at the actual lay of the land. What has Lucasfilm done in the last? What does the last year look like, and what does the next year look like from this very point? And I gotta say, it's fucking good because like. I mean, I'm getting this, I don't know what the fuck you want to call it, but the spy thriller show. And then, like I said, it's going to end with Goonies, Star Wars Goonies. And then you're going to, and like, I can't be mad at them for that. The only thing I'm mad about is the fact that I want movies now. That's the only thing that they could do any better is give me fucking movies,
Well, they gotta stop fucking up shows. And so this is a sign in the right direction at least.
What's the Goonies?
Because
what?
Sorry.
You know what the Goonies?
No,
is?
Star Wars Goonies.
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew.
Oh, okay.
It's like
do
the
you know what
Amblin.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. I haven't been
Yeah.
watching.
Sloth is gonna be in there, right?
Pretty much. Oh, Bespin Bulletin had some set pictures today. I forgot to look at them. But we'll look at them tomorrow.
Cool.
Star Wars Meg says, "Were the Imperial coppers air to
Hold
give
on,
you
I'll
a
be
paper and pencil?" I can't do it. Meg said I have to record these and send them in. But I did like that line when she like mentions cops. They want to be like cops, and it was like weird to hear that in Star Wars.
Yeah.
That was more
Was it-
weird to me than because like Star Wars always goes, well, what's the more exotic thing? Oh, the constable. They would say something just like to be not American sounding.
Just to make it sound exotic.
Yeah.
For no reason.
And Ashley sort of like said they want to be cops, and I was like, yeah, pretty much true.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because me and Bespin were having a conversation about a certain set that we want to look at. And we had the same fucking conversation pretty much today too. I think he's gonna find that funny about campus police, not really real cops, but they act like they're real cops. They really just like bust up kegers and then pose all day on campuses. Fucking assholes.
We got the Paul Blart of Star Wars now.
Yeah, pretty much. Cassian shot him. How did when Cassian kills those guys, the second guy, it's very clear. No witnesses, but the first guy, did he just get killed from a ricocheting blaster bolt? I didn't rewind to catch how he died, or is it left ambiguous? Did he have a fucking heart attack? How did he
I
die?
just saw him like pop him like head
His head
him,
kind of-
like, yeah.
It
And
hit the ground or something. Yeah, it didn't spell it out, but I'm sure if you hit a guy hard enough and he hits the ground the wrong way, it's
Yeah.
a stretch, but yeah, it can
Stop
happen.
breathing.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
think that everyone was telling Cassian to kill the other guy.
Mhm.
Were you?
Wait. Oh, you mean like the audience was like, get rid of
Yeah,
the
kill
evidence?
the other one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was actually as it happened, I said, you should rob him. That's what I thought to myself. And then a few minutes later, they were like, "Was they robbed?" They're like, "No." Like, I was like, Cassian, you're dumb. You should take their money.
But
So
at
I
the same
said,
time,
that was
dude
his
knew
first
what was
time
up.
killing somebody, right?
Yeah.
It seemed like.
I don't think so. If he's going to have been in the fight since he was 6 years old, I feel like he's killed somebody before. When they went to that place, did
He just
Cassian?
seemed very like shocked.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna go with it and say probably, but I'm also gonna say like I'm not gonna get too attached to that because it could really go the other way. But it was either way. It was a surprise. He did not expect that motherfucker to die. He was even just like he just thought he was gonna. I was actually wondering if he killed him when he knocked him out, when he hit him to knock him out.
That's
Did he
what I thought
accidentally
happened.
kill him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't like I said, I watched it just the one time and I didn't rewind it at all. The only time I rewound was to look at Bix take that jacket off. Remember when she took that jacket off? I do. That was fucking that was like my favorite moment in all of Star Wars. It combined everything I love in the world in one thing. I mean, it could have some cool music playing, like it's like a sweet riff. It would have just fucking that would have been it. Maybe like a Lost Nirvana demo or something. I've been like, this is they fucking did it. They did it. It doesn't get any better than this. But yeah, that was pretty good though. East End Brick Lane. East End Bixon. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
I thought it was IX and then the subtitles, anyways. Maybe there's a typo in the subtitles. Star Wars Mix says my vids might be shorter, but they have girth.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
hey.
we're a little bit behind.
Oh yeah, no, that's us. We're the kids who are behind, and but yeah, we'll say that Meg's videos get it all done in like 5 minutes, and it takes us hours. We're mush mouths, and she's a fancy British person from space. This is a cartoon. Darth Maximus has just finished it, loved it. Darth Maximus never changed the avatar because like Darth Maximus could be like,
you make me want to drink a beer. Darth Maximus.
somebody's they could be like your family died in a fire. You're like, hey, you know what I mean? He's so cool like that.
Oh.
Star Wars makes us, the fans are gonna hate it. Already saw some reviews. Yeah, that's
interesting.
Yeah, I mean I do kind of on this one more than the others. I'm not like actually truly not critical of the fact that they gave us these 3. I think was the right way to go.
Uh-huh.
This is one though. I would have been fine with it all coming out at once. Like Mando, where it's like, oh look, I'm on this planet now with these people, and there's an ATST. It's like, okay, yeah, that's a week. Fine. But like this show where it's like the intrigue keeps going, like this is going to be a show that I'm not going to like in the future. I'm probably going to be like, I don't feel like doing anything today, and I'm just going to sit down and watch like the whole thing. Like,
I happen
one
to do
day.
that. I'm going to do that today.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's how I've been with Game of Thrones. I've been rewatching Game of Thrones because I realized I was confused about some of the basics in the beginnings of House of Dragons. I just forgot stupid shit, and
I
it's
love
been a
that
while.
fashion house. Yes.
But oh shit, Jenna Nerds doesn't like it. Fuck.
Well, now I hate
it end
too.
of the show. End of the show, guys. Here we go. Yeah.
Fire Kathleen Kennedy.
I mean, I just gotta say, what the fuck have they liked or has he liked? Like none of it. So who gives a fuck? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I just don't care. And then it's just gonna be, if it was an interesting take with great analysis, but it's just always a fucking hot take meant to make people mad and give them super chats, which I don't really get super chats. So he's smart and I'm dumb. Dellerman says size matters after all. They all lied. Well, either that or I know how to use it. Maybe, but I'm gonna. I mean, we saw who Big's the bigger guy. I mean, you can't. She did. Star Wars.
I don't know. He got jealous real fast, so he probably has.
Oh man,
that's what happens when you got a small penis.
No, that's
no confidence.
No, That's the thing is you get with the chick like Biggs, you're gonna fuck it up. Every one of us is gonna fuck that up. Too hot. You're gonna fuck it up.
It happens to me all the time.
I don't know, man.
I
I
got a
don't
good
know.
track record, so I ain't gonna say shit.
No, I'm just being stupid. But Star Wars makes us it's so different but works really well. Felt like a 2-hour Fallen Order cutaway scene. Yeah, I mean it felt like a little movie. And
I read for a second. I read that as Falcon Crest. Sorry, felt like
Falcon-
a 2-hour Falcon Crest cutaway.
felt like a Falcon Crest. You know, like
No,
it was like soaring with the eagles and it flew too close to the sun, but you know what, its wings got tinged but they look fucking badass at the whoa Meg, calm down.
it's a
Fucking
Dynasty spinoff.
oh, dude, somebody get Meg Coke. Dark Maximus says Gilroy said this is a story about what else is going on in the galaxy that wasn't centered around the royal family. I think he nailed it. This is how the rebellion grew undetected. Yeah, for sure.
And that's one of the things that kind of makes it like critic proof from the fan base is because it doesn't deal with all the other bullshit. So you can't be like, well, Luke never would have saw a lightsaber. What are you going to say about this? Well,
Yeah.
Andor wouldn't have been on a planet. I mean, what are you going to fucking say? There's no established characters. There's no established lore they're going up against. And that's one of the reasons why I thought the show was probably going to be the best when they announced that whole full slate of shows, is that this one had the least amount of ties to anything, and so they could really go anywhere and do whatever the fuck they wanted. And they weren't like going to be held to a certain lore or a certain whatever that came before it. They could kind of just do their thing.
AJ is like a surrogate of Rob, and I'm going to speak for Rob, who's not here because he's wrong. He's a little sleepy bitch. I mean, we all going to agree Rob's a sleepy bitch tonight, and but I think Rob is going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
I would be, if Rob doesn't love it, I will be pretty fucking surprised.
Can we all like predict what Rob's going to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna say like, oh, they didn't shoot everything flat.
It has grit, it has texture. He's going to talk about cinematography. He's going to talk about the lighting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It, like I said, it's what I find interesting about it right now is it's like this expansion of Star Wars, and it's just limited completely in a different way than like what the other tones are. And that's what's weird. It's just like the sort of like the boundaries of like where it kind of starts and stops is so different than like even like step away from like any like hard criticism of Kenobi and just look at Kenobi for like what it is, what it intended to like do and stuff like that. It's like it's literally Star Wars. And here's what's interesting to me is this is a world without magic, and because there's no magic, they have to die. They have to step up so that way Luke Skywalker can T-ball that shit into the Death Star at the end. Like, and it's like, I'm joking about that. Teabag, you can teabag it. You know, he can teabag it. Like, they knock it out and Luke sort of goes there and teabags it into the exhaust port.
Obi-Wan told him, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like, let go, you know, close your eyes. What? But what? It's good.
I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
But no, I mean, but that's what's I think like we were talking about on the show, like, you know, should Tarkin be in it, should Palpatine be in it, should Darth, and like I do think it is important to, like I said, to keep the magic away from these people, so that and in certain ways, like, because everything is relative, like the dynamics of everything. Like when you think of Rogue One and you get to like Baze and Chirrut and like what Chirrut does, that starts to feel a hell of a lot more like mystical than it is in relatively speaking to a Jedi. Mm-hmm. But when you take the Jedi out of the equation, that's some fucking high strangeness right there. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, that's magic. But and so it's like it's a slow build. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of cool.
Well, I know, like you and Rob debated that because Gilroy said something about like most people don't know what a Jedi is. I don't. I think he was kind of talking in hyperbole when he said that. I don't think Gilroy meant it like literally.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you look at like even the Phantom Menace, Newt Gunray, when the Jedi sneak onto the ship or sneaking around the ship, and his right hand man is like, "Have you ever seen a Jedi before?" And you can tell he's freaking out. He's like, "No." So here's a dude that lived in the height of the Republic, where the Jedi were obviously very well known, and this dude had no idea. And this is not like some backwater hick guy that's like, what are Jedi? This is like a dude that was head of the Trade Federation, and to him it was just shit of legend. He didn't actually know, like, oh yeah, there's these guys and they use these magical stuff and whatever. And this dude is like, no, these dudes are fucking for real, man. You don't know what the can of whoop ass you just opened.
Yeah.
He had no idea. So I don't think it's a stretch to say that the average person on a backwater planet is like, oh yeah, there's these Jedi guys and they're like the U.S. Marshals, kind of like they go around and enforce the laws of the Republic, and they have some weird mystical religious thing or whatever. But yeah, they probably think of it more like Honda's, like, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of nonsense though. Yeah, and they have these powers and they can levitate shit with their mind. Fucking, I've seen that sideshow done at a carnival.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it's too big of a stretch to say that the average person doesn't know what a Jedi is or what they do, or they have some weird thought and opinion based not on any kind of factual basis, but just off of rumors and speculation.
Yeah. Make says the ghost wasn't on. I think we just lost Max. The ghost wasn't in this. They would have made it more blatant. The ship, one of the most important rebel cells, just as an Easter egg on a random planet. Nah, this ain't J.J. Abrams. Yeah, I feel like it was definitely from what I saw in the picture, it's just like the same kind of ship or like a similar model to it, and it's just in the jungle. You know what I mean? It's like, but who knows? I mean, it probably isn't though.
Well, they obviously, that junkyard had a bunch of ships that we've seen before, and that's just a practical thing. It's not an Easter egg that because Ochi's ship is sitting there from Rise of Skywalker.
It was in there.
Yeah, it's that same fucking shuttle that's sitting like right next to his ship.
Okay.
At least, I mean, maybe someone can correct me in the chat. I mean, but based off of what I could recollect, yeah, it's the same fucking model. But do I think, Ochi was on the planet? He was, there with Cassian. No, I mean, that's dumb. It's just the same fucking shit.
Yeah. Jordan says, coming from Scotland, there were too many Scottish accents. Yeah, see, I like it. I actually I enjoyed that. And thank you for being a channel member, Jordan. I appreciate the support. Star Wars Make says Rob's takes are good today. Luke says, I'm excited for episode 4. It's going to be 49 minutes. I love the whole Blade Runner vibes. It was great.
I like that.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, it's really yeah. I mean, like that the opening stuff really feels like it, and they really shot Cassian almost like I kind of made the joke early on, but like it reminds me of like the 70s Incredible Hulk in a way. Like I can almost feel like sad piano playing with it like the whole time. That little walking thing at the end of Incredible Hulk, but it's like yeah, but no, but they like the way that the tone feels, you do feel like like he's like this he feels very small. Like they did like a really good job of making him seem like he's like a small person, an insignificant person, and all of this. Like everybody hates him. He's kind
scrawny
of too. He's scrawny. He's a loser. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah. So it's I was at the I guess like the only thing I'm like, and maybe I when I watch it tomorrow I'll be like, oh Jason, they answered that, you were just stupid and tired. But I felt like when Luthen is like, I've been watching you for a long, I'm like, why? Like it was kind of weird that was, maybe there's more to it, maybe there's something coming, but it was kind of weird. Yeah, it was like they're kind of like recruiting him to the good guy version of the space CIA or something, and but why? Because he stole the thing, and I could see like the fact that Oh, that was the other thing. And this is me confusing myself. I think, did Cassian steal that part as a kid, or did he steal that part as an adult?
What part?
The one he's
Oh,
trying to hide.
the thing that
Yeah, the thing is that from like his original.
Mm,
Is that from the ship where he's taken from?
I'm gonna
Did
say
they?
no.
Okay.
Well, no, actually, no. I take it
I
back. I was
think
gonna
that
say
is
because of
from
the
the ship.
timing, because it's got the Imperial insignia on there. So
Oh,
yeah,
true.
Because I even thought that I thought it was a rebellion, but I was like, oh no, that's the Imperial.
Okay.
yeah. But
Yeah,
no,
I
Yeah,
think it
so
might have been from that ship.
Well, no, because that ship was separatist,
Oh, see, I told
Oh
you.
yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay.
The ship was
I'm
separate.
making,
So,
drawing my own
so
connections.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
no.
you're
But that
right.
was
I
the
thought
thing
he
is,
stole it
Mhm.
somehow.
Yep.
as I was watching it, I was like, wait, did he like? Did they have they been holding on? Because they mentioned like that's worth a lot, and he's like, come on, we're good. And she's kind of greedy. She wants to take more stuff. And I
Mhm.
was like, well, maybe they couldn't move it. Maybe that was sort of like the the stacks of $100 bills under the floorboards kind of situation for them.
In case of emergency, sell this fucking box. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then
It
because like,
almost like Darth Vader like too, like his chest plate
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. The Imperial vibe to it.
in a
Yeah.
box.
I wanted a Cenobite to come out when he took off the seal. I wanted Pinhead to come out and be like, "I'm Darth Maul too."
Uh,
Big sounds like a brand of dog treats. That's I support. I'm not going to kink shame anybody who wants to name their hot girlfriend after a dog treat. If she's
Who doesn't
into
like a
it, I
doggy?
say go with it.
Who doesn't like doggy style?
Uh, good record. Good record. Luke Miller says, never expected a Star Wars implied sex scene. This is the way. And like I said, I mean, it's kind of hard to be sad for him, but I mean, he did it. He
Well,
did
I
it.
guess we can have the debate here. Did he actually, did something actually happen there when we cut away?
Yeah, I put on my nightgown.
Yeah, I think she just went to sleep. I think dude got nothing.
Nah, she didn't.
They
She didn't
held
have her.
hands.
She didn't
got
have her
blue
pants
balls
on.
that shit. Yeah, she had to have her pants on. She was like, "All right, I'm going to bed."
But the pants stay
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So you
Like
wait.
Samantha Fox.
So you're telling me he's the guy who holds her hair when when she throws up because she's been out banging Cassie and drinking, and then he's like, someday she's gonna appreciate
much.
me. She's gonna
He's obviously-
appreciate him.
He's
So it
obviously a
was
little
implied that
bitch,
she
so I
still
mean, yeah,
she had
clearly.
feelings for him, right?
Mm.
No, she was
No.
over Cassie and shit, and she was I think she was into the guy, but
She
she
still loved him.
but she's operating at a different level of reality, I think, than he is. Like he turns in Cassian because he thinks he's like, well, I don't know, what did he think he was doing the right thing, or was it
He's
just
an
jealousy?
asshole.
So
He's jealous.
my hot take on this is that she's like, she's trying to make him jealous. She knows that Cassian's the playboy out, running around the galaxy, banging chicks like he's fucking James T. Kirk. And
Yeah.
she's just waiting for him to like, settle down and get into his like, I'm going to be a serious adult phase.
Well, that's
So
why
she's
said,
just
well,
she's
he
just
cares
holding out
about me a
hope that
lot.
someday he's going to come around.
And he
But
got
she's
jealous.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just banging this dude in the side to get him jealous.
Oh,
Because
I mean,
she says
it's telling.
Yeah.
he cares a lot about me or something like that. He'll do anything for me or something along those lines.
That's
And
And
I-
then
I-
he
for their
sees
relationship.
Cassie and he's like jealous.
Yeah.
When she starts throwing it in his face that he's banging everything in the town, I've never had an ex bring up what
I know.
I'm doing where it wasn't going to happen again if I wanted it to, probably. Right. I mean, we've all been there, right? I mean, that's I don't they don't say that unless they're mad. So
Yeah, she's mad at him.
Bix is still flicking the bean to the Andor, even though she's whipped, for sure.
Yep.
Oh my God.
For sure. I'm gonna say it. I said it.
Makes sense.
So I mean, so my hot take is she did fuck the guy, but she was thinking about Andor the whole time. She was like, no, never mind. I was gonna make a joke about how he's been doing this since he was 6 years, but that's not what I need to do. I'm not doing that. Just it's the low hanging fruit for Cassie. And yeah, what's her freaking name? Marva, fucking Marvin the Martian. Star Wars makes us. I got to meet B2 last night. He's chatty after a couple of beers. The actor or the thing when you were with
Me too.
with the prop, was it talking? Did they like Knight Rider it at Universal Studios? Like with the guy back there, like, oh howdy, Megalorian? You know, were they doing that kind of thing?
Mhm.
But
Get up.
I
Get
saw
up,
him
get
at D23. It was like the material is made out of looks weird. It looks strange. Like it's like a strange material to make the prop out of. I don't dislike it or anything. It's just like I look at it, I'm like, they look weird, but it's interesting to look at. So
It didn't look like the weathered version was the same material as the pristine one. It looked like they totally did a completely different build on it. It wasn't like they just took the like one and just banged the shit out of it. It's like they totally just recast something new.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Hey, Revenge Guy, how's it going, dude? What's Andor? I don't know, but there's a show called Andor that's on that you might want to check out. It's pretty good. People like
Andor.
it. And Cassian Andor.
We should all talk like that.
God.
So,
That guy is fucking cool as shit, though.
yeah.
Like Luthen, that dude is like fucking cool. Like he was just sitting there while this old guy on the bus is talking to him, and he's fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess was like when you got it, you got it.
Yeah.
Luthen and Bix, they both got it. Two different
Luthen.
ways. But all I gotta say is, I think if Luthen meets Bix, I think Luthen's gonna have a new girlfriend, and Cassian's not. That's what I think is gonna happen. Because I think it's gonna be like, well, actually, Bix already does hang out with them. I think Luthen's fucking. I think Luthen and Bix. I think she's a side piece. Rebecca says, I know what Fortnite is though. Is Andor in Fortnite? No, but today in Fortnite news, challenges came up, and Luke Skywalker's A New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi lightsabers are in the game files. And Luke Skywalker's skin has been rumored. So me and the kids, me and Bespin, we've been like debating all day. Is it going to be a part of the battle pass, or are we going to have to spend, money to get it? Like would they do challenges in game and then make you buy the skin, or when you do challenges in game, is it ultimately to get the skin? I don't know, but no, they're not. Jason, I was talking about the dogs. I think. Tell him, Rob. Tell him, Steve Dave. Is Rob our new Steve Dave? Star Wars makes says, nice try, Rob. You put a cap on and think we can't recognize you.
Come on. Would Rob ever wear an adult shirt? I don't think so.
True.
I don't know.
Sleepy little bitch.
Right.
Darth Maximus.
He's not here, so we can make fun of him.
Oh yeah, sleepy little bitch. I mean, that's where we're start calling him. Death Dogs might be the next death metal band project name. That's what the Dogs in Willow are called, by the way. Death Dogs. So that could be our Willow
true.
cover band. We can play fucking lutes and shit and get our ass kicked at Renaissance fairs. We don't belong here. This is for real medieval people, not the Willows.
We'll do like covers of Guar on a lute, though.
Okay.
That'd be great. Yeah. We'll call
do
ourselves Death Dogs. That'd be good.
See y'all in 2 years. No, Revenge Guy. No, you stay. Corellian Dogs. Man, Meg.
I've been called worse.
That's.
Oh, is she talking about the creatures in the show, or is she talking about us?
Yeah, she's calling us Corellian bitches. Star Wars Meg says Rob is right. They're from the cantina. When you see a bloated orange Imperial drinking Diet Coke and shouting at crowds, Corellian Dogs is also a good band name. I hope I don't get sued though. Meg says, Rob sure does his Attack of the Clones. Yeah, Rob loves Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
That's a very good point, Mr. Sketchcraft. He's really going on it.
Rob might have lost his job tonight. That's why you don't sit on the bench, Rob.
Hey. I'm starting to think that's not right. Jason, I have no preferences, Ward. Darth Maximus says the fact that he looks directly at the camera is what tips us off. That drum kit was awesome. Yeah, I'm with you, Meg. I really liked that. I thought it was cool. Jay says, was it any good? It was very good. It was very good. It's we've been expecting it because we've been following every nuance of it. But I think if you just like go into this, oh, there's a new Star Wars show, I don't follow this stuff, and you just like fucking sat down and watched it, I think it's unexpected. for Star Wars. I don't think the average person is going to. I think they're gonna be like, oh, is this a Baby Yoda? What kind of Baby Yoda they make this time? And then they're gonna put it on, and they're like, okay. But I'm really curious to see like what I know this is weird. I'm curious to see like what my family says about it, and my 7-Eleven dudes. I got this. I have two 7-Elevens like around my house. I have like one on this way and one that way,
Yeah.
and I'll we're like the Mandalorian shirt, and then they just start talking about it. I don't engage people about Star Wars on the street, but the 7-Eleven dudes do, and they're like, they watch that Disney Plus shit, like they're into it. Like they get into like the in the most dude way about it, and I'm curious if they care, if like that was like badass or not. But I think that like at the same time, I feel like when it comes to like on one hand, like you would think the Mandalorian audience, sans Baby Yoda people, would like Jason Bourne stuff. And right, I mean, you would when you kind of think though, like in some ways, it's sort of like, and when I say dude, I don't mean like a man. I mean like dude. Like so, like people that are like, yeah, like let's fucking smoke a joint and watch fucking action, yeah, like that dude.
Like bros.
No, it's like dude, like
That's what
you got,
dudes and bros.
you just it has no gender. It simply is a state of being. And but what I'm saying is that dude level of Mando people, I think that they would like this at the same time. It's like
Not
so like
the dude.
not the dude.
Okay.
That's a different dude.
Yeah. There's okay.
Yeah.
What are your kids gonna think about this though, you think? I think most kids will be like,
No, I don't think. I think it's gonna go over their heads.
yeah, I don't think there's anything for the kids.
Yeah, they'll be like, this is boring.
Yeah, B2 emo is not like cute and like, oh, that's a cute little droid. There's nothing there to like, kids would be like, oh, that's cool. I think most of our kids would be like, it's fucking bored, bunch of adults talking about adult shit.
Yeah, I don't
Which
know.
I get. I mean, that then, like I said, if I had a criticism of the show, I'd say
like,
that there needs
this
to be
is for
some
old
levity.
people.
But I was enjoying Empire Strikes Back before I could comprehend a scene.
Well, this
Yeah, but didn't you think the
because
Walkers
of
were cool and Cloud City was cool and Han and
Exactly.
Carbonite was cool and Boba Fett was cool? And
But-
this show, if I was a little kid,
Kid
I'd be
time.
like,
Kid time
wow.
between an AT-AT, Yoda, and the Carbonite chamber.
Mhm.
It's like 8 hours of kid time.
Yep.
That's a long fucking time
Mhm.
between like the features of the film.
Yep.
But there's like a lot to look at.
I was always looking
They
for
might hate it. I don't know.
Princess Leia's like hair and costume outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what
I
she
was, you know what? I was kind of,
So maybe
kinda-
Mon Mothma is going to be that for if kids
I-
watch it. Maybe.
yeah, as a kid, I really liked sketching the Star Wars clothes. I don't like clothes in real life. Not too much anyway. I don't care too much. Like I kind of have
calling as a fashion designer is what you're saying.
in space, a space fashion designer. And in Star Wars Galaxy, that's what I was. Star Wars Galaxy, Star Wars Galaxies.
Well, Andy Warhol was an alien, so I mean,
That's true. That's true.
Amazing alien.
League of Fences, but that was the only even semi-good music. I don't know. I kind of like the way that it used like tonalities, like the way that it would sort of have like the dissonance at times. But once again, that's on one viewing, and I will try to pay more attention to it and see what I think. But the themes leaked today onto the old internet, all three of them. And I gotta say, I listened to them on my phone the first time, and then I got into the car, and there was actually like bass that fucking builds up, and it's like, oh, you gotta hear that. You can't listen to that shit on your phone. Like it's a completely different experience too.
No one should
Calf-
listen to that music on their phone.
Yeah, Calf was mentioned.
Caffeine.
Yeah, caffeine addiction is canon in Star Wars. And then yeah, that ain't Rob. I'm gonna call you James.
I've been called worse, so hey, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Boy.
The tank top was weird as well. Talking about Bix's tank top, because that was the best thing that I've ever seen in my whole
Yeah.
life. That was the best
If you're
thing
gonna
Star
complain
Wars
about
ever
that.
did.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
I
fight
mean-
Lego fan.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's a weird criticism.
You know, I liked it.
Yeah.
Star Wars. Oh, Max, always staring at my boobs. Never here, never in the moment. Darth Maximus. Oh, wait, sorry. General Grievous, like I said, the show is a slow burn and definitely not amazing so far, in my opinion. We'll see what happens in the future episodes. You know, like my first impression is that was amazing. I was like, whoa, like that was really, but I can't lie. I also thought, what will this feel like after, like, is this rewatchable?
Yeah.
Is it not? Is it like are we, is it a show that we have to like let the clock time out on? Oh, it's been 2 years. I can watch it again. I don't really remember it. I
Yeah.
will enjoy it again or not. I don't know.
I get what
I'm not
they're
sure.
Yeah, I get what they're saying about like slow burn and not amazing. I would say, but this was all like set up an exposition. You didn't get a
Mhm.
lot of meat and potatoes. So yeah, by episode 4, I'm expecting some meat there.
Yeah, well,
but
I mean,
this is
also,
really good exposition. This is really good setup. So it did
Mhm.
its job. They did what they have to do. And so my expectation now is that they take this great start and they use that to do, a real, get down and dirty into the actual plot of the show story from here on out.
yeah,
And which I hear is the case with episode 4. That's what the people that saw it early said, is that it really
yeah.
comes together on the 4th
The
episode.
next two are Mon Mothma story, right?
Yeah.
For some reason I had it in my head that there was like 2 Mon Mothma sort
Yeah.
of exclusive episodes, not exclusive, but where
Yeah.
she's like our protagonist
Mhm.
for those stories. And if it's gonna move, into how rebellions happen and how some of the key players get to where they are in it. Yeah, I mean, you can do it where it's like real hokey. I mean, I don't, like I said, I hate to like shit on something else, but like Star Wars Rebels told that story too from a different perspective, from a different way, at a different tone for a different audience.
Completely different tone.
And yeah, and it's like, yeah, and it's like real, like, oh, here's how the pieces kind of like fit together or whatever. But oh no, Arya messaged me. Was it good? Sorry, Arya, but yeah, it's pretty good. But I wouldn't, if somebody doesn't like it though. I also can see how people are like, this just isn't why I sign up for Star Wars. You know what I mean? And I could respect that though at the
Mhm.
same time. But if you're an entertainment reporter and not an exclusive Star Wars like thing, if like Star Wars isn't your only thing on the internet and you cover Game of Thrones and all this other shit, and this offends you, you fucking lost me at that point. Like at that point, I would be confused by that.
I will
Truly.
say, I know, because you guys were talking about Rotten Tomatoes earlier today, and I totally get like the audience score. That's pretty much useless. But the critic rating I do look at. Not that I follow it necessarily, because I saw Clerks 3, and I wasn't expecting Clerks 3 to get a 90% of Rotten Tomatoes, because I understand that it's not everybody's cup of tea, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of critics that are not going to like that movie because they don't like those kind of movies.
Mhm.
But this was getting what, like an 89 or 90 on Rotten Tomatoes last I saw.
Yeah,
Where
just round up 90.
yeah.
It was like 90 on both of them, basically.
And Rings of Power is down to like 82 after the last episode, which
Mhm.
is like the lowest rating it's at, like, hit its all-time lowest so far. And granted, 4 episodes in, but still.
Mhm.
So I mean, right now, certainly from a critical reaction, this show is getting good reviews.
Yeah.
Whether the audience buys that, that's
Well, like right now, I don't, like I said, I don't think it's really fair to compare apples and oranges necessarily, but like the first two episodes of House of Dragons, I thought were very dull. Like the first episode of this better than to me than the first two episodes of House of Dragon, but also House of Dragon got his shit together, got really fucking cool to me, or me anyways. So it's like, you know, this is doing as a different a different kind of tone on TV, and this one isn't a Marvel. There's no Marvel. I don't think there's any Marvel influence in this. Like you do see the Marvel influence, I think, on some of the Star Wars television projects, and this one it's not there, and but it's healthy.
yeah.
It's healthy that this exists that way. I mean, it's like, you know, when you got Mandalorian and Obi-Wan Kenobi and this, I mean, it's not Star Wars doing the same thing every 3 months
Yeah.
at all.
Well, I think Gilroy was fearless, and that's one of the things. I think Gilroy just said, he was like, fuck the fans, fuck all this stuff that came before. I've got a vision for a show. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody else is kind of like, I feel that way. Like you look at the Deborah Chow interviews now from Kenobi, and it's more sounds like, well, we wanted to do the character justice. We were, we wanted to honor what it, And Gilroy's like, fuck this. I'm doing my show.
Well, he
And I
doesn't
like that.
didn't really bring any baggage.
No,
You know what I mean
he's-
with it, which is the positive thing of doing a less explored character
Mm,
or a less significant or a character we didn't grow up with, I should say.
Yeah.
Like even my kid can barely say he grew up with Rogue One Andor. You know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't really. I mean, it hasn't been around long enough.
Soon.
Soon. Well, I mean, in the long run, he will say that, but
Yeah.
not just based off of that first impression of that one film. And also, though, too, it's like this show tonally is a little. It's less expedited, I would say, than Rogue One, but it's an extrapolation of Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like it literally feels like if Rogue One was a tome, they kind of pulled these little novellas out of it, and it feels like that. It doesn't feel like anything else though, and I could see how like there comes a point where it's like, thank God, but they didn't go back to Tatooine. There's no planets that we recognize and stuff like
Right.
that. So it's like new tone, new worlds, new.
And they didn't try to pull that bullshit of like, usually you go to a new planet, it's like, oh, there's a moisture evaporator here, so it's a Star Wars planet. They didn't try to like cheap out on that kind of nonsense of just like putting
architecture,
something vaguely familiar to throw in there to be like, it's Star Wars now.
some like doors. I noticed like there's a Star Wars door, like they kind of did that, and yeah.
Right. Yeah,
But
right.
no. So I like I said, if some people don't just like not their thing, that's cool.
Right.
To say that's bad because it's not your thing makes you a selfish, entitled little bitch who thinks everything's just made for you and your personal preference. Because I could not like this. I could not like Succession and go, well, that's a well-made show that is very well for a genre. It's just not for me. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
but people on the internet, they think everything's for them. Some people,
Mhm.
Nick Coolio, the great and powerful man. I feel like fucking C-3PO whenever I say your name. The tone and atmosphere were perfect, but what was the story? Really didn't need to be 3 episodes of that. Disney has to stop stretching 140-minute movies into 8 to 10 episode series, in my opinion.
I know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
I didn't feel like this was stretched. Obi-Wan, I
That's-
felt like was stretched. This, I don't think so.
Well, but when you look at it, like, number one, I'm gonna say this couldn't be a movie.
No.
The main story of a Mandalorian season could be a movie. I mean, the main story, like the gist of the season. This not really, not without being like, Rogue One when it opens up and it's like Ring of Catherine, and over here's Diego Luna Land. It has those little things like flipping all over your, Ubani or whatever the fuck it's called. Just like going all of, like, that's what they would have to do. It would just be like incoherent mess if they tried to, I think, do what they're going to do in the series in one film. And but I do agree with you to the extent, like, things that should be movies or just a movie should not be a series, though. Like, I'm with you on that. Like, Obi-Wan Kenobi should have been a movie. It was meant to be a movie. It was adapted, but you could just tell it's the heart of that idea was still a movie. It was like pretending to be something else, and then because it was not a movie, we were like, well, this should look more like a movie. It was in a rock and a hard place on that one, and I kind of think that they don't necessarily know what's going to happen until they do it. And I mean, not saying like it's their job to project what's going to happen if we do it this way. So they are responsible, but it's like this one right here. This couldn't have been a film. No, not at all. I mean, this first 3 acts was a film. Like, it was pretty much the meat of a film. And but I wouldn't want them to make, how Cassian left home and how Cassian joined the Rebel Alliance as a movie. Like I just the premise to me isn't, the promise of that premise isn't film worthy.
Yeah.
And this is where it belongs, is on TV. I think that the TV stuff should be more like this, and they should make more movies like Mando. Like, that's kind of where I fall on out for my preference.
And there are scenes certainly in Andor that you could cut out. Someone could make a faster edit of the show, but It's not like Kenobi, where there were scenes in Kenobi that should have been cut, like chasing a toddler through the forest like Keystone Cops. There was shit in there that, like, it's like, why was this left in at all? Not like, well, you could lose this and still get the point right. It was like, this is bad. This is not working. This needs to go. This was not like, oh my God, why did they keep that scene in there? That should have been on the cutting room floor. There was no like filler in there, I felt like.
Yeah. I feel like the Kenobi thing that you mentioned was likely the product of the fact that it was moving in. That part of the story was sort of the slow burn kind of like maintenance. Like, we got to do this. We got to get her kidnapped and put there. And like, but we're not really making it that very interesting. And then they're like, oh, we need something to like really like keep this part from feeling dead. And in the end, they should just made it really brief. They should have just had the capture sack with Borat, put it over her head and take her off to Kazakhstan.
Flea comes and grabs her, and scene. Done.
Yeah, exactly. But Jedi Mike says 22 episodes. Can you imagine if Rogue One had put the capture sack on the bays and then they chased them around for a minute, isn't sure it like they did that there.
Basically what they did, yeah.
So wait, Jedi Mike says 22 episodes is what we got with TV about 5 years ago. Come on.
But you also got, after commercials, those episodes were 22 minutes long. So do the math there. Because your average runtime minus commercials back in the day was like 22, 23 minutes, plus your credits and your beginning.
Yeah, 1 hour 1 hour shows were like 40 minutes with like about 20 minutes of commercials. Like,
right.
Yeah, and credits and your opening little, theme song shit.
Yeah, I wrote. I don't know why Gilroy didn't see mine and take it for the show.
Honestly, yours is better.
I mean, that guy with his fancy drums and shit's pretty cool, but I mean, I got Logic and I got like all kinds of digital drums, so I could like do like way more like faster whenever you want.
You do the metal version of Andor now. You need to speed that shit up and more drums, more cowbell. Hey,
you give me the guitars and we'll do it.
I got the riff for you. We'll do
Let's do it. I'm holding you responsible for the idea. as well. Jedi Mike says, huge fan of the X-Files here. Depends on how you use those 20 to 22 episodes. I generally like slow burn stuff too, all about balance. Yeah, but the thing I mean, point taken, James, with what you're saying here, but there's a fucking difference between Star Wars, where nothing is real. You can't just go and we're gonna go make Star Wars in Albuquerque like it's fucking Breaking Bad. You just or whatever.
Albuquerque, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess, but you know what I'm saying? That like everything has to be made and designed, and
Right.
it's just not the it's not the same. It's not the same thing.
Not
But
close.
22 close to 22 episodes of this show, but that I think it's going to give us a really rich, deep experience, like about how the Rebel Alliance was formed. And I mean, Mon Mothma, she's got a husband. She's doing that guy with the fucking ponytail, the fucking Pilates instructor that we saw and the things that's her fucking husband, dude. Like, she was like, you know what, I need to get rid of this guy. This guy is prettier than I am. I need to get rid of him. I need to get myself a Bothan boyfriend. I need to fuck some shit up. And that's what she's going to do in this show. And that's why Gilroy did it. Jedi Mike says, Max, you look gorgeous on my 48-inch. Damn, dude. That's a red Wookiee dog dick. Good on you. Murph says, Bigsby is hot. That's an understatement. It's ridiculous. I mean, it like Bix is like if all the handmaidens, Padme and all her handmaidens were like a hot chick Voltron. That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. Bix is. That's how I feel about Bix right now. Niculio, the Great and Powerful, says that standoff with the officers in the rain was legit. Loved it. Yeah, me too. Yeah, the whole like feeling of everything is just super dead on. Eli Martin says, bro, the drum fill at the end of episode 2 completely took me out of it. And I was on the floor in tears laughing like, what the fuck? Really? I thought it was fucking rad, dude. I was like, that really sincerely worked for me. I was like, but the cognitive dissonance that it sounds like you experienced that happened in Attack of the Clones for some people when they added the guitars to the Zam Wessel chase scene. Mm-hmm. That was a big thing, man. When that you remember that when the soundtrack leaked? Yeah, like there were people like fucking throwing like, what the fuck is this? Then the movie came out, people who hadn't heard it, who were like didn't want any spoilers, were like, what the fuck was that guitar?
I like that.
Like, yeah, no, it's fucking cool. I like it, but
yeah.
My avatar is off handing you big beard. All right. I'm also live with Santa right now. Oh shit, Santa's live? Shit. We should end this show. I should go over to Santa's show and fucking crash that shit. Because I haven't slept yet. I'm on 4 cups of coffee. It's like 4 a.m. right now. Let's fucking do this, Santa. Oh shit. Do you guys need to go to bed? If you guys need to fucking jump out at any point, by all means, like just let me know.
He's like, get off my show.
I'm I'm
just trying to get rid of this now. What the fuck?
No, I'm basking in the glory. I'm
the glory hole.
I had a good night. Yeah, I mean, I was. I'm gonna. This is my Harry Knowles fucking pussy eating review of Blade moment. This is I was a slut at a glory hole. I was sucking all of those Star Wars dicks. I couldn't stop. That's how good it was. Eli Martin says, John and Dave were nowhere to be found in the credits, so I'm over it. Are we thinking Lucasfilm Civil War? Sounds like it to me. Isn't it funny how the people who talk about the Lucasfilm Civil War for serious are the people who probably literally want another Civil War? Eli says, cinema photography lighting was great. Laughing Mouse, the soundtrack was like nails on a chalkboard. Really? That's so. Yeah, I completely like we're all entitled to our opinions on that. But I rather liked it to loved it. I might have loved it. I don't know if I loved it yet because music, I don't always, when it comes to like music outside of pop music that I listen to or rock music or whatever dumb 3-minute music, sometimes like I'll like listen to it and I'm like, oh, cool, the textures. Like I kind of seem to experience it as texture. and then it's not until I hear it, and then my mind goes with the melody and follows it, that I really know, like, oh, that's on, or that's not as good as it should have been. Like it takes me, it's to me it's just texture, but maybe I'm dumb. General Grievous says Tartakovsky's Clone Wars and the Clone Wars are the best Star Wars TV shows to date, in my opinion. There we go.
Agreed. Yeah,
I mean,
that doesn't change with the show. Clone Wars is still top dog.
Jedi Mike says, so far behind in the chat, I can talk to Santa and live on Max. You can do that. We can do that. Okay, so I don't know. Santa didn't invite me, but I'm gonna crash this show. The Jason Bourne trilogy starts the way and starts increasing its phase. Okay, yeah, I need to watch those. I do. The drum and bass music finale episode was great. Yeah, see, I thought it was cool. I was like, because the thing about it is, I could be wrong. I'm not trying to say like you weren't paying attention or the people weren't, but I feel like the way that it moved into it was you were like hooked in on something, and then it took you into it, and then it escalated. And I feel like if you looked at your phone and then went right to that, you'd be like, "What's going on?" Like if you weren't like focused. But
Oh yeah, he's on, but only 9 people are on.
man, don't throwing shade at Santa right now.
I'm not.
Damn.
Call for Max.
That's not good enough for you? No,
You should
okay.
go. No, you should go and like support him.
Yeah. Let's is he watching the show, or is he like doing the show?
I think he's doing a show. I got a notification also.
Yeah, well, that's my whole thing. Is if he's like sitting there watching it, going like eating popcorn, Big's hot. I know.
Oh, it's live Oh, he's doing live reactions.
So he's watching it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and breakdowns.
I guess I just missed John Williams, and I'm very confused about why they won't use Duel of the Fates. Wait, you're talking about Duel of the Fates in this show? Because that's
Yeah.
crazy.
A little bit.
Lando's Palace and all the goodies. Even if they're
Why?
like re-edit to the story, but more
Where am I?
the sweeping, swelling orchestrals are what's missing most for me. Yeah, this isn't like that genre though. Like this right, like I honestly, I know it's like sacrilege. John Williams could do anything. Well, let's be honest. John Williams has the last 10 years. John Williams hasn't been the John Williams that we grew up with. He's given us a single, but he's not given. I don't think he's given us the full scores that he used to give us. And
I will say, since this is supposed to be a prequel to Rogue One, it
Where was
is kind of
James?
odd to not go with a standard traditional orchestral soundtrack to kind of match Rogue One.
mhm.
So yeah, I mean, that's what I would have done. But I mean, the music, the only time I even noticed the music where I could make mention of it was when that drum solo came on, because I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Because to me it was jarring. I noticed it. So for me noticing the music and me paying attention to going, what the hell is the music? It was a bad call. But the rest of the music, I don't know. I didn't. The episodes worked for me, so I'm assuming the music worked for me because I didn't notice them, and it didn't put me out of like, well, why is this playing this note here? Thing,
As Star Wars fans, it tends to be a thing that we can rewatch over and over again. Like when we're talking about like us, like not the fake fans like Rob, the sleepy little bitches, like the people who like watch Star Wars, live it, breathe it. And but like for me, a huge part of that though is the soundtrack. I'm not knocking people who fucking listen to the soundtracks like for like films or whatever, but I would rather watch the movie to hear the soundtrack, where I just put the movie on and I'm music minded. Like I don't really put the soundtracks on like and like rock out to them. It just doesn't. I have other music for like that time.
Yeah.
And but it does come down to like I really want to hear Across the Stars, and then that makes me want to watch Attack of the Clones. Makes Attack of the Clones but a very palatable movie for me because I really like the actual soundtrack to it. But I like it in that the totality of it. And on this show, I'm curious, like if I hook into the the music on it and want to watch it again for that reason. And if it does become a show I can rewatch, I don't know if it is. I haven't we watched it one time, and it's a weird one. It's slow, and I don't know how rewatchable it's going to be. As like, am I going to be like checking my watch? Is going to be that kind of show? But that music that's weird, maybe the thing that actually gives it life beyond the one watch. I don't know though.
You know,
Yeah.
the one thing that I really like about this, I wish that there was more of, but I know it doesn't make sense too. I love the world building. I love to see like what's going on that planet, and they gave that to us with this. You know, it's
Mhm.
just like simple little things like what's going on in that world.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think for that, I probably would watch it just to watch, like
Right.
God,
not
Eli.
necessarily for a story, but just to watch it.
All right. Here, time for an overshare moment. Um,
Oh no.
when it starts off wholesome, then it goes not wholesome. So my son gets really embarrassed when I say roads where we're going. We don't need roads. And then I put on the Back to the Future 2 song and I drive the car and I go, Penny, we're flying, right? And Penny's like, look down there, I could see my house. And Luke gets like, oh my God, like he can't take it. He fucking hates it. And we're like, we're flying. And we drive to wherever we're going. And so Back to the Future is on my Apple Music's like playlist where most of it is very, very curated music that I have picked that is very good. And so I can usually put on music and it's just going to play a bunch of like good music. I consider to be good music anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I had a Tinder friend over, and in the middle, you know, like a little bit of Hate the Police comes on by Mudhoney. Let's fucking get down, baby. It's on. But then Back to the Future 2 started playing, and I gotta admit, there was a few times when I was like, I could do this.
Now, is the actual musical score, or is it like Huey Lewis comes on?
No, as Alan Silvestri going dun dun dun, like,
Okay.
And
they're
then
flying in the
you hear,
clouds.
If
and
you
then
were
you
rocking
hear-
out to Huey Lewis, it would hold a different vibe.
Oh
you
no!
know?
If no, if it was Power of Love, she'd be pregnant right now.
and then you hear, "Don't move, dirtbag."
Yeah, it's Power of Love. It's a
You
whole
don't get
fucking
it.
different game. But
I was gonna go with Back in Time, but you know, Power of Love.
yeah, but we could all agree that we don't double back. We don't ZZ Top double back in this house. But I feel like I was supposed to say double bag it. Back to the Future Part 3. I don't know why they didn't get Huey Lewis. Maybe probably on too much drugs then.
Bareback.
Duel of the Fates is in the shower is an experience. I'm gonna give that to you, Eli. I'm not gonna take that from you. I never would take that from you.
I used to
know?
listen to the Duel of the Fates remix. The
Yeah.
dance remix, yeah.
He
And
likes
then
playing Swords in the Shower.
okay.
That's why he's listening to Duel of the Fates. That's I don't know.
Mhm.
Why else would you be listening to Duel of the Fates in the shower? I don't know. Anyhow, sorry, Max, I interrupted your story.
No, I would listen to some of the songs from Attack of the Clones soundtrack
Mhm.
while I was sleeping, and it was the
Hmm.
younglings and Anakin and Padme's whatever. Oh, he likes double back. Hi, Jedi Mike.
I like double back too. Okay, I'm gonna admit it. I do. I had the single. I do like double back a little bit. I mean, it's no Power of Love though. That's
From
at the end
Huey
of the day.
Lewis.
It's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
What
it's
is though?
you know, yeah, it's true. But anyways, do you have any leaks for 4 through 12 of Andor? Well, I mean, we've had stuff like over the last year or two of about it, but like, you know, one of the things that we recently had was like what Andor getting dropped off on Highland.
Sly Moore is in there, Massamita.
Yeah, that wasn't my. Is that some like just stuff in general, or like my stuff? Like
I
the
don't
thing
know.
I heard was that it the people are barefoot prison kind of
Pregnant.
setting, and Andor needs to do an extraction of somebody. He needs to get information or extract the person out, and then like they're like barefoot supposedly, and like they get shocked. There's like a little coating of like moisture on the floor that they can electrocute you, or water, and they could like basically shock you, like shock the whole if the work gets slow or the quality dies down. And
Do
that
they
if
work
they
for Amazon?
they're making Death Star parts. They
So
don't
work
know
for
it though.
Amazon or Apple?
They work for Amazon.
Yeah.
No pee breaks. But yeah. But I mean, yeah, the it's just weird. It's like this is the first time I can't and I don't fault Lucasfilm at all for not setting expectations. They literally set the expectations fucking dead on for the first time in their whole fucking life as a company, where they were like, here's the show. It's this. This is what it's like. It's not, you know what I mean? And then they're like,
Mhm.
hey, we're going to talk about everything from it. Like they talked about pretty much all of the main plot of it. You know what I mean? And everybody's like relations to each other, because it was beyond just hearing about it. You had to experience, like I could tell you the story of a play, but seeing the play is a different thing. And they actually acknowledged that because they knew that they had something good, I think, for what it does. That they were like, but yeah, are you guys gonna like it? Is most people gonna like it? Good morning, Jason. Disruplios, is that how you say that? De los Wheels. Good morning, Jason. How do you feel with this tale? Yeah, like I was saying at the start of it, it's different, and I like it a lot. I love it. I like that we got something tonally different, and I don't want all of Star Wars to be this. I don't think that this is the answer to everything. I don't think this is the answer to doing our fucking Zuckus 4 LOM fucking buddy cop movie. This isn't the way to do it. This isn't the tone that you need for that one. But it's like, it's this I think it's the right tone for the Andor story.
This was the right tone for Boba Fett too. Like if they had switched spots, if Favreau and Filoni had done this and Gilroy had done Boba Fett, I think that's a better trade-off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if
I was
anything needed that, my God, Boba Fett needed this.
When I was watching it, one thing that occurred to me was that initially what we were hearing was that Kenobi was going to film at Pinewood and was basically had the Andor slot, and that Andor was going to film in Los Angeles and what became the Kenobi slot. And I was like watching it, I was like, man, there's like an alternate reality where all of the sets in this that we're looking at are the Kenobi ones, and then Andor is made down here in El Segundo. And while I love the look of the show, and I don't want to change it. I want it to stay exactly how it is. I was like, you know what though? I think this show could have been done. It's benefiting from it, but it could have been done in El Segundo.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been fine with the Kenobi, not the flat look, but the general like small scale, like the little sets and the volume. I kind of think they could have done this one to I know that's like everyone goes, well, here's why it wouldn't be better, and I agree. Like that was the right way to do it. Like that's the right way. But could they have? And like it's just kind of weird in a way. If we had swapped them, I think overall we might have been better off.
I think so.
Yeah, it's alternate reality. But
yeah, not that Andor would have been better, but I think Boba Fett would have sucked less.
Yeah, or Kenobi. Kenobi would have looked better and not, would have been easier to stay in the story for most people probably.
But Disney's done a lot. Disney's done a lot of advertising for the show.
I saw an Andor bus.
I was driving in Midtown in Houston, and a really trendy spot and trendy area in Houston, and they had like this electronic billboard, but it was like vertical, silver outlining, is beautiful, and then I just see like Andor, and it made me like, I was driving, and I had to like stop for a second. I was like, "Is that Mon Mothma?"
I hope you were drinking coffee and you spit. You went,
no.
The spit take? No.
Was it
Max doesn't spit. Max doesn't spit. You're here first. Just kidding. You didn't. You already knew that. No, I'm kidding. I kid, man.
No, you're not.
Arky wants to know, Jason, do you know what is the Inquisitor from Tales of the Jedi trailer? I don't know. Yeah, I don't honestly.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't. Yeah, if it's not the one from the Ahsoka book, and if that's not a retelling of the Ahsoka thing, then I think it's just going to be a new one. Just any number, give any number, and make it a brother. 69th brother. That's my guess.
It's
69th
the
brother.
Inquisitor from Toby 1.
Yeah.
There you go.
So Baymax,
Hey,
did you
Baymax.
are you all caught up? I saw that you were almost a sleepy little bitch like Rob, but you weren't a sleepy little bitch. You woke up and started the show after it was out. So are you all caught up now? Are you happy? How you feeling? How? 'Cause I'm curious. Matt says so very disappointed. I did not think Kamel's in this series as a droid. At first I thought he was going to see disappointed in the show and he didn't have a good time. I was like, oh, poor Matt. But yeah. Well, no, I think Kamal must be B2 emo. I mean, that's all that's left, right?
Mm.
I mean, who else could he be? But yeah, caught up. Okay. So what's the verdict, Chief? Are you excited? Do you are you like Max and James who say it sucked and it was boring?
I didn't say it sucked.
You know.
She said suck balls, I
I
believe.
did.
Was the exact
Yeah, she said it was SJW nonsense.
yeah.
Is what I think she said.
Kathleen Kennedy needs to be fired tomorrow.
Dark Maximus says, "Great time hanging out with y'all. Have a great night, and may the force be with you later, Mister. Wait, you're not Max. You're Max.
Darth
Maximus.
Is that your alter ego?
Matt Risman loved it. Good. Yeah. I at first I was like, oh man, because Matt's like up on the articles and shit like that. As something, if an article hits, Matt sees it. The wrist man does not miss it. And so I was like, man, that would suck if you really didn't like it. Senna went to help Dad watching episode 2 and 3 later. Oh no, I hope his dad's cool, or did he just like was just breaking it up like it was planned? I hope it's planned, but nothing's going on. Baymax says, I'm enjoying it. I like the slow burn and build. I'm feeling good that it's going to pay off. Looks great, so much better than Kenobi and Book of Boba Fett looked. Yeah, it is. It might set the standard for what we demand that these shows look like, but at the same time, I don't know if they will be able to hear that. Like, or by the time they do hear it, how many shows will have come out before they've said like, oh, these are their demands. They do demand that our shows look like, you know what I mean, this like quality. But at the same time, like we'll have to see like Skeleton Crew. I mean that's a cinematic director, and if you're copying the Amblin style, that's cinematic style.
How much? As I say, how much do they care about the numbers, say, of the show versus, say, like, because obviously, even if Mando had, and certainly Mando season 1, just from the number of subscriptions they had out the gate, Mando probably had the lowest numbers, just because they didn't have as many subscribers. But the money they made on Baby Yoda merch alone, that show was a fucking hit. How much did they look at these shows and say, well, we can't sell a Cassian Andor figure. There's no, there's no Baby Yoda here. There's no BB-8. There's nothing to market and merchandise. How much of that did they look at these shows as failure success? Because I know, for example, Pixar and Up, which is a fantastic movie, the best movie they ever did, was considered by a lot of people a colossal failure because it sold no merch.
Right.
So I wonder how much do they actually care about how much we think about their visuals and how they approach the making of the show versus, bottom line. And a lot of times that bottom line is the merch sales.
Well, today we were having a conversation about Hollywood itself. and how there's like the people who own Warner Brothers right now, where
Mhm.
everything is about what money can be made off of that thing, and then there's like another take in Hollywood, and it's like being prestigious matters, getting awards matters, and having like the adoration of your creative peers matters. And like with Star Wars to some extent though, I do think that if they do have to take one on the chin and be like, not every single thing is necessarily about capitalizing on action figures every fucking time, because I think Endor is going to be good for the brand.
I
I
do
think
too.
I think I think it's an expensive investment in the brand,
Mhm.
but it every now and then, and it may say, you know what, Star Wars
Yeah.
isn't just Carl Weathers tributes in space kind of shit, all the
Right.
whole time, which is badass. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but
Yeah.
you do have to do like the original Star Wars would be like, here's this real deep lore, like here's this very mythic feeling, and then now here's a cowboy, and then now here's like
Yeah.
this like Arthurian knight, and like it would just go all over the place, but it was always like a good feeling and a good, but
Right.
things seem more expanded but regimented, and that
Yeah.
they have to go through it. Like I like the fact that like Kenobi has that feeling for
Yeah.
me.
Well, facts are important, obviously, but I think what people overlook is facts without proper analysis are just as bad as if misinformation or bad facts. And
Mhm.
you look at back in the '80s, the dearth of bad sci-fi movies you got after Star Wars, because as Lucas pointed out, they're like, oh, spaceship movies make a ton of money. Let's make a spaceship movie, and they would do these fucking Battle Beyond the Stars and all these other cheesy ass Star Wars knockoffs, Black Hole,
Those are
and
good.
all of them fucking tanked. And
Yeah.
so they didn't learn the lesson that it's not about spaceships. That you
Yeah.
actually have to have something. It's like what actually fucking sold this? They don't know. So they look at it and say, "Oh, your gritty, espionage drama, Star Wars." Uh,
He meant
no,
a
but I
lot
don't
to
know if they
me.
understand what the fuck is actually makes them successful, or they look at it and go, "Well, this worked," and they just run with that shit.
Yeah.
What do you? I mean, I don't know,
I
because
mean,
it looks like they don't learn their lessons. Like there's lessons to be learned, and it looks like they learn the wrong shit
well,
every
that's
time.
like whenever I see like the the YouTuber people that follow Hollywood,
Hmm.
and like they start like criticizing that kind of shit, like they always have this like real douchebaggy kind of like perspective that is very much like based out of that kind of like angle.
Yeah,
That's the one thing about Kathleen Kennedy though, is she kind of gets the difference on what that is. I think that's why George Lucas hired her.
yeah,
Initially, not that she didn't essentially kind of burn him in a very Hollywood way, or Disney did in itself, but at the same
yeah,
time, like she does tend to take the risk. She's a little bit she takes risk, but she's conservative at the same time,
hmm,
which is
yeah,
what makes her I think like a hard read.
hmm,
But you could see that it's somebody who clearly has like a very strong vision and is very proficient at what they do. Like Gilroy is able to go in and like sell her on the pitch for the show, and then do it, and they spent
yeah,
their money to like do it. Honestly, they probably fucking spent the money on this at the expense of Kenobi. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the day it was like,
it,
yeah, we can do Kenobi now, we can do Kenobi in Los Angeles, we can make Kenobi happen, but this is what it's this is what it's going to look like, and then and Ewan McGregor is probably like, it's all about me. Yeah, we can do that. That's probably what happened. I mean, that's actually what I believe happened. I'm not saying
yeah.
I don't know anything, but that's what I believe happened.
Well, I wonder how much Ewan gets paid for that producer credit on the show
Yeah,
too. I mean,
yeah,
I got to think he costs a lot more than Diego Luna, and I think that maybe 10% of your budget is allocated to the fact that you've got a guy that you have to sign that's getting producer credit on the show.
yeah.
Um,
Or is it like he owns, you know, sort of like, I don't know how it
Pay him
works,
on
but
the
like
back end.
points. Does
Yeah.
he kind of have points on the show and sort of like will be getting
That works.
residuals from that for, you know what I mean? Like as a
Yeah.
producer.
Yeah. How do you do that with? I guess. Yeah. I'm sure they have some shit worked out, but yeah,
Well,
he
because
got paid.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like we've all known actors. Most of them can't make their car payments,
Shut
and
up.
then once they get successful, they have money, and then they can. But it's not like that all of a sudden makes them good at math and managing and budgeting. Like so, like this whole producer thing, it's always like a little bit strange to me. Like I don't
Yeah.
really know what they do. I honestly, I'm not. For all I know, they're fucking Diego Luna's out there with the fucking calculator, like doing shit up. But I feel like it's a creative consultant who will hear the financial reality of doing what they want to do, and will fight about what's important, and that's now I'm a producer. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know though, but I would love for
Yeah.
somebody to actually ask them, what did you do as a producer, Ian McGregor?
I think he wanted. My guess would be, and this is total speculation based
Mhm.
off of pulling shit out of my ass. So take it for what it is. But my guess is Ewan wanted to be in a situation like where he was with what was it, Attack of the Clones, where he's like, I'm not wearing that stupid fucking hat.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
he basically wanted to be like, if Deborah Chow came and said, okay, you're gonna wear this hat in the scene, he'd be like, no, I'm not wearing your fucking hat. I'm an executive producer. I can make the call to say I'm not doing this dopey shit. I'm not saying this stupid line, where he can kind of have veto power, where he wasn't necessarily involved with the creative process, but if something happened that he didn't like, he would have the power to say, no,
Yeah.
I'm axing this. And he had that ability to do that. That'd
Yeah.
be my guess.
Yeah, and basically here are the parameters of the project. We have this amount of money. This is what we have. This is the time that we have to do it. And then what do you want to do creatively? What can you actually pull off
Mhm.
with that? I think it's like I said, it's a creative consultant with that involves money.
Yeah,
I mean,
he wasn't scouting locations.
he wasn't going like, oh, well, we got inflation. Well, if we
Yeah.
film it over here in Pinewood,
Yeah,
or
he wasn't checking in on crafts, to see,
yeah. Harky says, have you ever met Ewan or Hayden in real life, and what were they like? I pulled up next to Ewan McGregor and talked to him in a car one time. There's an episode from the summer. I think it's the featured image. You'll just see like Ewan McGregor in like a fucking fancy car. I took a picture. He said I could. I asked. I wasn't like, hey, just started taking pictures, of Ewan McGregor. Like,
started breathing heavy and like,
yeah. No, he was nice. He even like pulled his mask down so I could take the picture. It was nice.
He's like this.
He's like, I was like, oh.
Hey,
He's like,
hello there.
oh, remember when I told the boy, close your eyes? Oh shit. Yeah.
Feel, don't think.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's getting late.
Yeah, it is time.
Should I go get some breakfast tacos and then go to sleep?
Yeah, I need to go to work, so
I'm
I just
hungry.
have to call it at some point here.
I think Ewan probably, he got his new young hot wife, and I think he had to pay the old wife a lot of that train spotting. Michael Bay, was that movie did with Michael Bay? Did you do one with Michael Bay? The one where with Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah,
was that a Michael Bay one?
Yeah.
So all that Michael Bay money,
yeah,
I think that's with the French wife, and so he was like, now I got my new hot American young wife. He's like, so I got to give that wife all my old money. I got to give this one my new money. And so, you know what? Respect it. Living his best life. But Jedi Mike says, tongue that mic.
I did.
But all right. Well, let's you go to work. I'm going to try to go to bed. I'm like so tired, but I had too much coffee. You're off today. And then my plan is to wake up in the morning and watch it again, and then then do like a actual like make notes and do like a review episode. Will I I kind of feel like I may be taking the kids to school and then coming back and going to sleep and then doing an afternoon show. This is once 2.5 hours. Probably what's going to happen. But you never know. Sometimes I fucking stay up all night and I wake right up because
Text me and I'll see if I'll join you.
okay.
Diva, just do shows whenever you want.
Just do whatever I want. It's
Yeah.
my fucking life. You know what I mean? It's like this show right here. This is my French wife. The next one's my new American young wife. That's the way I'm looking at this. So, but thanks everybody for hanging out with us. And if you're watching this on like the replay, because I'm fucking being a sleepy little bitch like Rob, leave comments. We'll definitely like look at them. Let us know what you think and if you have a good time and all that. And if you had a bad time or a good time, as long as it's constructive and
if we get $100 in super chats, we will call Rob next time, prank call him, and wake his ass up.
Yeah, that's true. And we'll also write sorry, Canary. And also, wait, come on, play it. There it goes. Look at him.
What's his name? Tim?
Yeah.
Tim
Timmy.
Sims? What's he like?
It was like Tim would. They're like, oh, how do we make Tim Star Warsy? Oh, put 2 M's. Like that doesn't sound like we can't hear the other M. It doesn't.
Well, Tim short for Tim.
My name is Timoth. Timoth. It's an old Sith name. I don't know.
Oh gosh.
Something like that.
Nice.
But yeah, so anyways, thanks everybody for liking the video, subscribing to the channel, all that bullshit. And hope you guys enjoy the show. James, Max, thanks for staying up with me.
Thanks for having us.
And most of all, being right, not being wrong, and a sleepy little bitch like Rob. You guys were sleepy, but you weren't sleepy little bitches like Rob, which is what's gonna happen if you go to sleep, Rob. But yeah, and then we'll be back. I'll be back. Oh yeah, all hell Lambhead and Wade. Fucking Wade had it so much worse though, man. Wade didn't get to like bang, bakes, and die. Like
Right.
I'm real Tim. I'm just kind of like
no. His name is say it's Team.
no. She straight up calls him Tim.
Does she?
Yeah, I'm
What
pretty
an
sure.
asshole.
Wait, can you do a fan poll on YouTube with your channel? I think you need to poll whether
I
or
don't think
not
so.
he actually got some, because I think he didn't.
I
think
think
he
he
was gonna agree
did.
with me. I think he was getting blue balled the whole time.
Really?
Yeah, he's a little bitch. He went out like a bitch. He lived like a bitch. Yeah, that's.
I think Bix was too hot for him, and he really underperformed every time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he was disappointed in himself, maybe even more than she was, because
She got blue balled? Or he did?
she probably got blue balled by him. Yeah.
Did it look like
probably-
he was crying when she showed up at night?
Yeah.
No, he was. Oh my god, no, he was
Why was he
creepy. He
crying?
was staring at her when she was waking up. Like,
Yeah, he was. He was a creeper.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know,
he
like,
didn't
he-
give anything. He was like,
he would-
Jesus, I just sat
he
in
was-
the chair all night.
Yeah, he was
he
slow
was watching
jacking.
her.
He was slow jacking, watching her
Yeah.
watching her sleep.
I'm so flattered. I'm just kidding.
Uh,
I mean, it would be funny. She woke up, she goes, "Are you slow jacking?" And he's like, "No, I'm just really upset because you were with your old boyfriend, Tim. I'm Tim." Right.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, fucking rest in peace, Tim. All right. Bye, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow or in the
Bye.
morning in a couple hours.
Some shit like
It's
that.
the end of the show.
Come on, let's go.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go.